evening. I'm hoping for some good faith linear conversations. Oh, hopefully I'm logical. If you are in the guest queue or thinking about joining to come up and debate, make sure that you are 18 plus and that you have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God. We'll try to get started, I suppose. Yeah, early indeed. Yep. Hi, Nazar. How old are you?
So, yo, God is real. What do you think?
Holy shit, that was like a 5-year-old. Holy fuck. That was wild. Okay, putting that in my notes. Holy shit. All right. You sent a DM? Whoa. Where would it have gone? When did you do that? What's up, Nick? I don't see anything. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, well, that's easy enough. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Whoa. Okay. 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 Well, I did not see that. I have now seen it, and I will keep that in mind. And please let me know if there are any issues. Hopefully, we'll be good to go. All right. So sorry about that. Yeah, no, I just did. I appreciate you bringing it to my attention. I didn't know that you had messaged me. I didn't get a notification for it. So yeah, thanks for letting me know. Anyway, yeah, so I am looking to talk to folks who are 18 plus of some kind of argument or evidence that will provide justification to believe in a God. Um, Welcome in, everybody. Bring up guests in just a second. Okay. I always forget to do my little maintenance thing over on YouTube. There we go. Speaking of which, I do have a YouTube. It's at Ogar Debates. If you guys would want to go over there and subscribe, that'd be great. If not, no worries. All right. So, yeah, thanks everybody. If you are in the guest queue or thinking about joining to debate, make sure that you're 18 plus and have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God. Hey, Artistic, how old are you? Okay. Man, that was too tough of a question. I'm adamant about this topic because of a few reasons. Number one, I think that it's important for people to believe true things and disbelieve false things. And also, I enjoy both lots of aspects of doing debates, right? I enjoy the debating itself. I think that it's fun to like put myself on the line, put my positions on the line, and have to defend them. Also, to test my ability to respond to other people's arguments because I let literally anyone come up here and give any argument that they want. So I have to be able to think on my feet. I enjoy that challenge. I also it gives me motivation to learn. Right, I'm not always right about things, And the only way to find, or one of the ways to find out that I'm not right about things, is to do that, putting my life, my views on the line, and getting that pushback, right? Anyway, once again, if you are in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you are 18 plus and you have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God. We'll bring up the, hopefully, first real conversation. Isaiah, how old are you?
36, Pilgrim.
Okay, now what God do you believe in?
The Christian one.
Okay, and what would you say is the best argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God?
Your existence.
Okay, how does my existence provide justification to believe in God?
Well, you're flying through the universe at a certain speed.
That doesn't sound like it has anything to do with my existence. So are you saying that, like, the planet's existence is the demonstration of God's existence?
Everything.
Okay, well, so is it me or is it not me?
Are you a part of everything?
Okay, so it sounds like what you're saying is that just existence in general is a reason to believe in God. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And would that be the case even if I didn't exist? Or is it just only if I'm in the universe then existence is reason to believe in God?
Well, I think you're a part of it, right?
That's not an answer to my question. Would existence be, justification to believe in God if I didn't exist, or is it only justification to believe in God if I do exist?
Both.
Well, that's not possible. So are you just rejecting logic now?
No.
Oh, okay. So then answer the question. Is my existence a necessary part of the, existence of everything else being justification to believe in God or not?
Obviously not.
Okay, fantastic. So then you just said some really stupid shit to start out with. Let's move past that. What's an actual argument or evidence that would give us reason to believe in God?
Creation.
Okay, and why should we think that there's a creation?
Because I've never seen a 747 come together by itself without any human intervention.
And what does that have to do with us thinking the universe is created?
Because it's the same probability.
How did you demonstrate that?
Well, it wouldn't be me that would demonstrate it.
Yeah, sure. How was it demonstrated? Sure. What was the scientist who demonstrated that?
So you want a source as to what you're asking for?
Well, obviously, yeah. If you're going to make claims, I want you to support the claims.
White boy. That's not obvious.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. All right. If you are in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you are 18 plus and have some kind of argument or evidence that will provide justification to believe in a God. Hi, dog. How old are you?
Hello, I'm a 20-year-old American.
And what God do you believe in?
I do not believe in any one God. I just believe that there is a God. Is that all right?
That doesn't make any sense. Do you believe in a God?
I believe that there is a God because I don't believe that.
That was just a yes or no question. Do you believe in a God?
Yes.
And which God do you believe in?
I believe in the God that created the universe.
Okay, so if you can't give me a direct, informative, unambiguous answer, I'm just going to move to the next person. What God do you believe in?
All right, I don't got one.
All right, have a good one.
You too.
If you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus and have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God. I didn't say it has to be a religious God. Hi, greater than. How old are you?
I'm 18.
And what God do you believe in?
I believe in the one and only true God.
I don't know which one you think is the one and only true God, so just tell me, which God do you believe in?
The Christian God.
Fantastic. And what would you say is the best argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God?
Probably the fact that we wake up every single morning and that we're still here.
Okay, why would we not expect to wake up if God didn't exist?
Because it's by his grace, and if God didn't exist, then we wouldn't either.
Okay, so that's just restating the claim. I want you to support that last part, that if God didn't exist, we wouldn't exist.
Like, if God didn't exist, we wouldn't exist, because God created all of us.
Yeah, that's just restating the point. You're just claiming that we exist because God exists. I'm asking you to support that claim, not restate it again. So if you just restate the claim again, I'm simply going to drop you and move on. What I'm asking you to do, though, is support the claim. Can you do that? I can't hear you if you're off the app. You got to check ChatGPT for your argument before you come up. Nothing? Bueller? All right, fair enough. All right, if you are in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus and that you have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God. Maybe AJ's not going to connect?
I'm here.
Hi, AJ. How old are you?
I'm 58.
Okay, and which God do you believe in?
I believe in the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Okay, and what would you say is the best argument or evidence that would give us reason to believe in God?
That we all take our first breath and we all take our last breath. And so the mystery of what happens after this life depends on something we can't fully understand or explain.
That didn't even come close to even attempting to answer the question, so I'll ask it again. What would you say is the best argument or evidence that would give us a reason to believe in God?
That you take your last breath and your first breath. And
How does that give us a reason to believe in God?
That's a reason to believe in God.
How? I'm asking you to explain how that provides a reason to believe in God, please.
When you were born, you took one breath. And
I'm aware of that. I'm aware of that. I'm not. No, hold on. There's no reason to freak out. Just calm down.
I'm not freaking out.
I know it's.
You're talking to a man now, not a little 20-year-old. So
I know that it's scary. I know that it's scary when you realize that you don't actually have a reason to believe the stuff that you believe, but we'll get through it together, I promise. So I understand you're saying that when I was born, I had my first breath, and when I die, I'll have my last breath. No problems. I'm with you on that. What I don't understand is the connection between that and believing in God. So can you draw that connection for me, please?
Yes, the connection is this. We have to respect the mystery. We don't know what happens.
Okay, so you're just appealing to there being mystery. I agree that there are questions we don't know the answers to. You're claiming that we do know the answer to this one. So I'm asking you to justify that, please.
The reason that I personally believe that there is a God is because it gives a sense of hope to the mystery of...
Okay, so you don't actually have a reason to think that God exists. You just like thinking God exists. It just feels good? Oh, okay. All right. Well, stop doing that. That's fucking stupid. All right, if you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus and you have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God. Hi, Hussam. How old are you?
Hi, I'm 32.
Okay, and what God do you believe in?
In Allah.
Cool. Thank you for just answering the question. I really appreciate people who can do that. What would you say is the best argument or evidence that would give us a reason to believe in God?
I think it's difficult to say one, this is the best one, the best answer. There are many. The first one that pops up in my mind is like, if you think about the desert, there is no resource, scarce water, hard environment, and still in the desert grows the date that basically has most of the things that a human needs to survive in a place like that, and it's a miracle. Sorry for my English, it's not my native language.
I don't see why we would think that's a miracle. We know exactly why things, why life forms grow where they grow. It's not mysterious to us that life can grow in the desert. We know how that works. So what is the thing that would give us reason to believe in God?
There is no enough resource to have a fruit like that.
No, that's obviously not true. I mean, obviously, if you clearly don't know anything about biology, if you're going to make a claim like that, or maybe you know more than me about biology, and you can provide me with a source that says that it actually takes divine intervention for date trees to grow in the desert.
Oh, so for my logic, that was like
no, I need you to. Okay, here's what you need to do, Hussam. Here's your dialectical burden at this point. You need to either retract your claim that it's miraculous for those trees to grow where they do, or you need to provide some kind of scientific evidence, some peer-reviewed scientific paper or something along those lines that agrees with you that it requires divine intervention for these things to grow in the desert.
I like how you answer. Like how you, I don't have the
Okay.
scientific evidence.
Okay, so you're going to retract the claim then?
Yep.
Okay, fantastic. So what is an
It was
argument or
just
evidence that would give us reason to believe in God?
another one that pops out in my mind is like the Holy Book from Muslims that basically has a lot of scientific
Yep,
miracles.
everybody says that about their holy book, and it's bullshit for you, just like it's bullshit for the Christians. So I don't really give a fuck. Hey, Hussam, I don't care about your really bad pretzely attempts to twist the words in your holy book to mean something important. Because I've heard it all, Hussam. Because I've heard it all already.
Yeah,
You're going to talk about the sky being stretched out, and you're going to talk about some other nonsense. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Hussam. No.
Nice beings, human.
Nope.
That's God or not God. I'm respecting you, and you should respect me.
No.
You should not respect
No,
God.
you earn respect, Hussam.
You are
So what
both-
I'm
you are
saying
both
here,
God humans.
what I'm trying to
Just carry
explain
on.
to you, yep, so calm down. What I'm trying to explain to you
No, I'm
is that,
super calm.
yep, what I'm trying to explain to you is that even if there was stuff in your book that we couldn't explain how it got there, that would not give us a reason to believe in God. That would just
That
be
would
an,
not-
hold on. That would just
Yeah,
be,
sure.
stop, calm down.
Sorry.
That would just be an unanswered question. So I don't need you to point me to, things that are in the Quran that we don't have an answer for. I want you to point me to how we determined that it was definitely a God that put that information in the Quran. That's what you need to show me.
I was about to not tell you something that we don't have evidence. I was talking
No,
about
don't
something
talk
that
about
have-
Hussam. Do not talk about
Scientific
stop. Do not
No?
talk about the stuff in the Quran. Talk about the methodology that was used to prove that stuff came from a God.
Perfect. So the scientific view, isn't it?
I'm
Was it
waiting
the
for you
same-
to give me the methodology that was used to determine that the stuff in the Quran came from a God.
The methodology is
Yeah.
confirmed by science.
Okay, so give me the peer-reviewed scientific paper that concludes that the information in the Quran came from a God.
For sure. So basically, if you look,
What's the
for-
name of the paper?
Oh, I don't have the name of the paper.
Well,
I don't
that's what I
remember
need
it.
from you. You said that it's been scientifically confirmed that the
Yeah, yeah.
information. Hold on. You
Can I
said
look
that.
at it?
Stop, Hussam. You said it was scientifically confirmed that the information in the Quran came from a God. I want to see that scientific confirmation. Where do I look for it?
On Google, you can look for it.
Yeah.
But I
So
can do it
what am I
on
looking
the-
for? What do I search?
So you have to search where the iron came from.
No. Tell me the name of the scientific paper that concludes
Oh,
the information came from a God.
no, it doesn't exist such a thing. I'm
Okay,
telling
then you
it's
don't
awesome.
have scientific confirmation. If you had scientific
have.
confirmation, then you would be able to point me to a scientist confirming that it came from a God. So obviously you're not able to do that, correct?
No, it's because you
So
didn't
are you
understand-
able to provide scientific confirmation that the information in the Quran came from a God?
Can you let me finish?
So this is a yes or no question. Are you able to provide scientific confirmation that the information in the Quran came from a God? Yes or no?
Yes, but
Okay,
not by the
fantastic. So then
methodology.
provide me the scientific confirmation.
Yes, but not with the methodology you just told me about.
Yeah,
Also,
that is what I'm asking you for. If it's scientific confirmation, then you will be
Yeah,
able
yeah,
to
it can-
if
Is
it's
that-
scientific
wait,
con-
let
if
me
there
finish,
if
let me
there
finish
is if there is scientific confirmation, then you can
Let
point
me
me
finish as well.
to no, Hussam, no,
let me-
because what you're
I
trying to
have-
do, so Hussam, what you're trying to do is run
Yeah.
away from your dialectical burden. I am never ever going to allow you to do that. Okay? I need you to come to terms with the fact that there is never going to be a time when you're talking to me that I'm going to let you run away from your dialectical burden. You have taken on the dialectical burden by the argument that you gave to provide, and by the justification that you provided, you have taken on the burden to provide the scientific demonstration for your claim. So now your two options are to tell me where I can find that scientific confirmation, meaning a scientist who agrees with you and published peer-reviewed work that concludes with your conclusion, or to retract the claim. Those are your only two options. If you do literally anything else, I'm just going to interrupt you and drag you back to the substance again.
I'm sorry. We had a very nice talk. I don't have the evidence with these terms. I have with my terms. that I was about to explain, but you didn't let me. So
Right.
it was a
That's
nice
because you were
talk.
trying to run away. So do you have anything
No,
else?
no, I'm not trying to run away.
Yes,
I'm
you are
saying-
trying to run away. You took on a dialectical
to
burden
run
with the
away. If you
claim
let
that
me
you
talk-
made, and you're
if you let me
refusing to
talk-
carry
if
that
you let me
burden.
talk, I'll let you show you the evidence if you let me talk.
Okay,
Because
that you're going to give me a scientific confirmation that the information in the
Yes,
Quran
yes,
came from
by
a god,
my
right?
methodology, not by yours.
No,
So listen
that's
to
not.
me.
No,
Listen
that's
up.
not acceptable. I'm telling you that if you're appealing to scientific confirmation, it has to be a scientific source.
Confirmation, but
Yes, then
what
it
I'm
needs
saying
to come
is-
from a scientific source. So what is the scientific source that
That's it.
supports your claim?
Listen to me.
What is
There
the
is
science?
this-
Okay, I'm going to only ask one more time, and if you can't give me a direct answer, I'm moving on.
That's
So,
really
what
easy.
is the scientific source that supports your claim?
You're very. I'm sorry, brother, but you're very sorry to know the truth because you're not letting.
Okay. Well, if you make a claim that science supports your position, then you can provide the scientific support for your position. You can provide where science confirms that you're correct. Pretty simple. If you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus and that you have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God. And just so you know, if you don't want that to happen to you, just stay on the substance and support the claims you make. If there's a claim that you don't want to have to support, don't make that claim. Pretty simple. You joining, Crystal? Bueller? Bueller? I know, I'm so cute.
Hello.
Hi, Crystal. How old are you?
Okay, I just want to say, why are you being so...
Okay. Thank you so much, everybody, for the support. I love you all. Both sides, thank you so much. Nick, Lem, Mystic Bear, AJ Mora even supporting. Thank you. Probably before I brought you up and you got mad at me. Dog, probably the same thing. Thank you, Poke Gurumi. Radio Spencer, thank you so much. Glad to see you here. Dab Niece, thank you. Owly. What is this? Matthew and Kelly DeFord. Okay, thank you very much. Lawn Doctor, that's awesome. Thank you so much. I certainly could use one of those for my lawn. KC, love to see you here. Thank you so much for the support. Crown, fantastic. I don't deserve it, but I appreciate it. Mickey, thank you so much. Grumpy Grandpa, happy to see you here. Thank you so much for the support. Dab Niece, damn Grumpy Grandpa, thank you so much. Fucking awesome. TGIF indeed. 24 Carat, thank you. Hey, oh fuck. Thank you so much. Damn Grumpy Grandpa, just fucking killing it. Thank you. Poopman Jones, thank you so much for the hat and mustache and all your support. What is this? Benjamin Washington, awesome. I must be George's little brother. Dabnese, thank you so much. Pappy Loco, appreciate you. Flarf Blarf. Oh, you sent the ribbon or bow tie or whatever the fuck. Appreciate you. Ginger Ninja, thank you so much. Lupine, so glad to have you here. Thank you so much for the support. Colette, Ginger Ninja, love you all. Sincerely appreciate it. Okay, so got some people requesting. We'll try to see if we can get to everybody. If you are in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus and you have some kind of argument or evidence that will provide justification to believe in a God. Well, I agree with that, Gen X Bear. Whoa, what just happened? I think I brought up the wrong person. Hi, good brothers. How old are you?
Hey, how's it going, man? I'm 47.
Okay, cool. And then what God do you believe in?
I believe in God of Christ.
Okay. And then what would you say is the best argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God?
Because God loved the world so much that he gave us his only son so that we shall
Well,
not
that just
perish and have
hold on.
eternal life.
Hold on, that's just begging the question. I couldn't possibly believe that unless I already believe that God exists. So you need to start there. Why should I think God exists in the first place?
Why should you?
Mm-hmm. Or any
I
reasonable
just gave
person.
you the reason.
No,
I
you
gave
just
you the reason why.
no, you didn't give me a reason to believe in God. You gave me something that you believe about God.
Oh,
I'm not
why
asking you to tell me
personally
things.
should- Okay, why you should believe it?
Yeah, why
you should
anyone?
have faith?
Yeah, no, not why I should have faith. Faith is a joke. Faith is a poison. I'm asking why I should have a rational belief in a God. What is the justification for thinking that God exists?
Have you ever seen a hurricane? Have you ever seen a tornado? Have you ever seen an earthquake? Have you ever seen a natural disaster?
I've lived through a tornado. Yeah.
All right, so you should realize that God could pause that at any second.
No,
that he chooses
I don't have any
to
reason to
fall
think that God was involved in the tornado that I lived through. So why should I think God exists?
out. But okay, so what about what if we got a horrible hurricane?
Okay, so you should not be
You're afraid
asking
of
me
that, right?
questions. You should be providing an argument or evidence. So what's
I
the
am.
argument
I'm
or
giving
evidence
you
that
an
God
argument.
exists? I have not heard an
I'm
argument
giving
yet.
Okay, so you don't believe that natural disasters, you don't believe that God has the power to wipe
I
us
don't
out if He
I don't
wanted
believe that
to
God
make it rain,
exists.
to make it hurt.
Right.
Okay,
I don't believe that
sure.
God exists. So you're supposed to be giving me a reason to believe God
All right,
exists.
so
This is the last time I'm
here's the
asking.
reason.
Good brothers. This is the last time I'm asking. If you cannot provide an argument or some evidence after I'm done asking this question, I'm just going to move on. What is one piece of argument or one piece of evidence or one argument that would provide a reason to believe in a God?
It's because you believe in something. You believe in Saw. You believe Saw is a good movie. I don't believe in you. I believe that
Okay.
you just don't.
Well, at that point, I think that it's kind of probably mean to continue the conversation. Seems like a nice enough person, but I don't think I have the boots for this hike. So if you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you are 18 plus. Hey, thanks, Casey. Make sure that you're an adult and you have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God. CT, you got to fix that. Hi, Blessing. How old are you?
19.
Okay, and what God do you believe in?
Christ.
Cool. What would you say is the best argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God?
The very fact that we all exist.
Okay, why would we expect to not exist if God didn't exist?
What do you mean?
You're saying that our existence is evidence for God, which means it's expected if God exists and unexpected if God doesn't exist. So why would we think that it was unexpected for us to exist if God didn't exist?
Unexpected? Wait, what?
So evidence, do you know what evidence is?
Yeah, all of us are evidence.
Can you define evidence for me?
All of us are evidence that God exists.
Can you just define the word evidence for me?
God created all of us.
Or you could just admit that you don't know what it means. So I need you to either define the word evidence or just admit that you don't know what it means, which is fine. It's not something to be embarrassed about.
Evidence, bro.
So what does evidence mean? What's the definition of evidence?
I don't know. Go look it
Okay.
up.
Well, I do know. I just was checking if you knew because you said you did. But evidence is information that raises the probability of a given hypothesis being true.
What the hell
Right?
are you talking about?
I'm explaining to you what evidence is. So we're discussing evidence for God, right?
No.
Oh, we're not discussing evidence for
We are
God.
the existence that God created.
Okay, that just assumes God exists. I'm trying to figure out why I should think God exists in the first place. Yeah, that just assumes God exists. Right, if God doesn't exist, he couldn't have created us. So in order for me to believe God created us, I would have to believe that God exists. But I currently don't believe God exists. What's a reason that I should believe God exists?
Maybe you should go pray to him. Find out.
So pray to somebody non-existent? Do you think that if you prayed to Santa Claus, that would mean Santa Claus would be real?
If you have no faith, you're not
You know what?
believe in them.
You know what, though? What I need you to do, I need you to pray to Eunice, because then you'll find out the real creator of the universe. So are you going to pray to Eunice tonight?
No.
Why not? You don't have faith in Eunice, the universe farting unicorn? Don't you want to know the truth about the origin of our reality? Don't you? You don't have. You're telling me that you don't have any faith? Why wouldn't you just pray to Eunice and find out the truth about how she farted out our universe? Pray to Eunice, the universe farting unicorn. She's right here. Don't you see?
Jesus Christ, right?
No, Eunice, the universe farting unicorn, right
Jesus
next to my
Christ.
head. You see how glorious and beautiful she is? That's the creator of the universe. Why don't you pray to her? When's the last time you prayed to Eunice?
Never, bro.
What? You're going to tell me, hold on, you're going to tell me that you believe in your God and not Eunice, but you never even gave Eunice a chance?
Who is Eunice?
Eunice, yes, this is Eunice right here. Eunice, the universe farting unicorn. She once ate a spicy hypotenuse, and with a little rumbly in her tumbly, she farted out our entire universe. That's where we came from. That's why there's math and logic in the universe, because her fart came from eating a hypotenuse. Right?
Oh, really?
Yeah. So now, do you believe in Eunice?
You trying to make that equivalent to God?
Do you believe in Eunice?
Wait. Who's Eunice though?
Right here, Eunice, the universe farting unicorn. Yeah. Do you believe in Eunice now?
But that's not God.
I just explained it to you. She created our universe by farting it out. Have you prayed? Have you prayed to Eunice? Have you prayed to Eunice?
No.
Oh, so it sounds like you actually can make a conclusion about what you believe in without praying to every possible God, right?
You just have no faith in God.
So do you have any reason to think that God actually exists?
Yeah.
What's a reason to think that God exists?
Yo, can you give me 1 second?
So what's a reason to think that God exists?
I'm about to tell you. Just give me 1
Okay,
second.
so if you do that again, where you say you cry and go to meta instead of just answering the question, I'm just going to drop you. So what's a reason to believe that God exists?
Because when I was at my lowest, bro, I prayed to God. He answered all my prayers.
Yeah, but when I was at my lowest, I prayed to Eunice and she fixed my life for me.
Eunice?
Yeah. She has way more power than your fictional God. So it sounds like if we just compare our personal experiences, we're not really going to have, you don't have any more reason to believe in your God than I have to believe in Eunice. So it sounds like we need something more than that, something a little stronger that can tell us why your God is more real than Eunice. She didn't come from anywhere. She always existed. So what's the reason to think that your God exists and Eunice doesn't?
Says you.
What's the reason to think that your God exists? So what's the reason to think that your God exists?
You saying you're God?
No, Eunice is God. Unless you can tell me a reason to think that your God exists. So this is the last time I'm asking. What's a reason to believe in your God?
I already told you before.
All right, fair enough. I agree that you don't have anything. If you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus and you have some kind of argument or evidence that will provide justification to believe in a God. Hello, how old are you?
Yeah, I'm 30.
Okay, and what God do you believe in?
I don't believe in any God. I enter with different reason.
Okay, well, I'm just doing debates with folks who believe in a God, so I'm going to move on to the next person. Make sure if you're in the guest queue that you are 18 plus, that you believe in a God, and you have some kind of argument or evidence that would justify believing in God. Thank you so much for the support, Poppy Loco. That metamorphosis was awesome. Thank you, Jay Fishes, Nutsy, Infectious Bites. Thank you so much. Keegan, Von Zoom, that's fun. KC, thank you again. And Grandpa Books, also, thank you again so much. CT, appreciate you. Colette, Ginger Ninja, Lupine, love you all. Thank you so much. Sincerely. All right. We'll bring up the next person. Hopefully we can have a good conversation. Hi, Raymond. How old are you? Hello? 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 Can you hear me? No? Okay. Farts are real. We all know farts are real. Cowboy hats are also real. Thanks, Poopman Jones. What is this? Groove Straw. That sounds like fun. Thank you, Lem. All right. Yeah, if you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're an adult and have some kind of argument or evidence that will provide justification to believe in a God. Hi, Jonathan. How old are you?
I'm 33.
Cool. And what God do you believe in?
The creator of the universe. I guess the biblical God, I guess.
Okay, the Christian one?
Yeah.
Cool. What would you say is the best argument or evidence that would give us reason to believe in God?
So this is the thing. You can't present evidence to a non-believer. It's all anecdotal. You understand?
Okay, so you're saying you don't have an argument or evidence?
I have anecdotal evidence for myself, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you will believe it or anybody else. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, what I would need is not your anecdote. What I would need is the methodology that you can use or that I could use to determine who is properly interpreting their personal experiences and who's not, so that I can tell when, everybody of all different religions give me their, claims about their gods being real. How do I tell which ones to believe and which ones don't if they all just have the same type of personal experience?
You have to practice it for yourself. Have you tried?
Yeah, I used to be a Christian, but then I realized that I didn't have a reason to believe in it, so I stopped believing it.
So why were you before?
I was raised in it, and I was naive, right? I didn't understand what it means to have justification for your beliefs. I just believed it because I was told it was true. The problem is I believed it so strongly that I convinced myself that if I independently searched for truth, I would find it would bring me back to God. It would bring me to Jesus. Unfortunately, as soon as I started searching for truth without assuming that the answer would be Christianity, I realized that Christianity wasn't true. So now, though, because I still have that same open mindset where I'm ready to believe anything that I have reason to think is true, I'm asking if there's reason to think it's true that God exists.
Okay. I completely understand. We have the same story, but backwards. I wasn't born.
Okay, well, I'm not asking about your story, Jonathan. I know that's rude, and I don't really care, but I just want to know whether there's a reason to believe in God or not. If not, I can move on to the next person.
I was going to get into it.
Okay, well, I don't want you to get there. I need you to be there.
Okay, I'll say this and then I'll leave. If you truly follow the principles of the Bible, I feel like he will speak to you, and once you are spoken to, then you can't deny his existence. That's all I have to say.
Should have cut him before he said it. I knew I should have. All right, if you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you are 18 plus, that you believe in a God, and you have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God. If you want to join, you hit the request button. Please stop talking about it in the chat. It's fucking annoying. Yeah. You can't. Are you talking about me, KTM? Because that's true. You cannot deny my girth. I wish I could go back. I don't remember when it was, but there was one time where I had a live and somebody disrespected my girth. And I thought that would make a funny clip, but I'd have to find it. Hey, Elf, how old are you? Hello.
Yeah, I'm 40.
Hi. Okay, cool. And what God do you believe in?
Well, definitely not the God that is basically an organized religion, but I believe that we are.
I didn't ask what you don't believe in. So which God do you believe in?
The God of the universe.
Okay, so I need an unambiguous, direct answer. I'll ask one more time. If you can't give me that type of answer, I'm just going to move on. What God do you believe in?
The universal God that created us all.
Okay, all right. What just happened? Can you make clips? I mean, you can do whatever you want. It's a free country. All right. If you are in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're an adult and you have some kind of argument or evidence for God. Yeah, I don't do bullshit here. Hi, how do I pronounce your name?
Hello, I'm Marius.
Marius?
Marius.
Oh, Marius?
Marius.
Okay, and what? How old are you? How old are you?
50.
Okay, and then what God do you believe in?
I believe in God that is universal. It's not only for Christians or Muslims.
Okay, don't tell me what God isn't. Just tell me the God you do believe in, please.
For me, it's being out of space and matter.
Okay, so just like a normal, like a generic theistic God, an immaterial mind that created the universe?
I think this God created the
universe. Marius, this is way too long to figure out what God you believe in. So I'm just going to ask you one more time. If you can't just answer the question, I'm going to have to move on. Do you believe in a generic theistic God, like an immaterial mind that created and sustains the universe, or something else?
This God you say right now.
Okay, so that was a yes or no question. I feel like that. Okay, I'm just going to move on to the next person. I don't feel like we're getting anywhere. No expectation that we're going to get anywhere. All right, if you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus and you have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God. Hi, Serendipity. How old are you?
I am 64.
Okay, and what God do you believe in?
At the moment, I am bewildered. I believe that you are quite an intelligent.
Okay, hold on, Serendipity. I'm asking you a very specific question, and I need the answer to that question before we go anywhere else. What God do you believe
in? Omnipresent.
Okay, I need you to just tell me the version of God you believe in, please. Directly, succinctly, and unambiguously.
Can you afford me a minute or two just...
All right, if you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus and you have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God. I don't know, Ashley. They will not ever tell me just what God they believe in. Well, that's not true. Some of them do, but it seems few and far between. I don't know why they refuse. I watch other streamers and they ask, like, what religion are you? And they get immediate answers. Like, I don't understand why it's so difficult for people to tell me what God they believe in. But hey, maybe the next person will be able to do it. Hi, Kingston, how old are you? All right, fair enough. Hey, Dante, how old are you?
I'm 29.
Okay, what religion are you?
I believe the answer you're looking for is like I grew up.
No, don't tell me what you grew up. No.
Okay.
What do you currently believe in?
Okay, I currently believe that we all were created from a God.
All right, I'm just not going to do this bullshit. Come on, you guys. I tried it. I tried asking the religion and it didn't work. I cannot do this. Okay, so here's the thing. All right, moving forward. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to ask you your age. You're going to tell me your age. I'm going to ask you what God you believe in. And then either you're going to directly, unambiguously tell me what God you believe in, or I'm just going to move on. Okay? Are we all on the same page? Everybody in the guest queue, those are the rules. All right? Are we all good? All right. You got to be an adult. You got to be able to tell me what God you believe in directly and unambiguously, and then you got to have some argument or evidence. All right. Let's give it a shot. Hi, Dill. How old are you? Well, that sounds about right. That is about what I expect. Well, you would be next, Joshua, but begging in the chat gets you skipped, so we'll move to the next person. Hi, Jag. How old are you?
I'm so fucking big and fat. Oh my.
Cool. Good times. Yeah, make sure if you're in the guest queue that you're an adult and you have some kind of argument or evidence for God, and that you can answer what God you believe in. Hi, Mark. How old are you?
I'm 66.
Okay, and what God do you believe in?
God.
Cool. Hi, Joshua. How old are you?
49.
And what God do you believe in?
The God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Okay, so I said unambiguous answers. You get one more chance. What God do you believe in?
That's the Christian God.
No, that's not the Christian God, but I'm assuming that means that you believe in the Christian God?
Oh, that's not the Christian God? Well, I stand corrected, man.
Well, I said it's ambiguous because the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob refers to 3 different gods. It refers to the Jewish God, the Christian God, and the Muslim God. But now we know that you're a Christian God, so what would you say is the best argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in God?
Okay, that's not correct, but the justification is that the Romans documented that they crucified Jesus of Nazareth on Calvary, and they were non-believers. They documented, there are 3 Romans that documented in their own notes.
Yeah, so
they crucified Jesus of Nazareth.
Yeah, sure. So if we're hold on, calm down. So if we're talking about historical evidence, if we're talking about historical documentation, then I just need the documentation that is from Jesus's lifetime, or like from the time when he was crucified. So what is the documentation of his execution that comes from when it happened?
You want me to send you the book? Is what you're saying, or what do you want?
Oh, I can look it up.
Oh yeah, definitely. You can even. Titus is one of the gentlemen that was a Roman. Titus definitely documented a Jesus of Nazareth that claimed to be the Son of God.
Okay, so what is the name of the document that I can look up by Titus that was written during the time of Jesus's execution?
You said you want me to get, so I mean, you want me to go get the book for you?
I want you to tell me the name. I want you to name the document so that I know what I'm looking up.
I don't know the name of the book, but I can Google it for you.
Are you talking about Tacitus? Or are you talking about Titus?
It's Tittus, I believe.
Tittus? I think I know about Tacitus, Tacitus. It doesn't seem to be any Titus by either spelling of Titus. So I think that we're talking about Tacitus. And Tacitus wasn't born. When was Tacitus born? Well, Tacitus wouldn't have been born until decades after Jesus supposedly died. So clearly, Tacitus did not write about Jesus during his lifetime or any, near the time of his life. So that wouldn't qualify. So I need you to come back to the app, Joshua, so I can actually hear you. And I need you to tell me the name of the historian and the document where I can read about records of Jesus from his lifetime. I need you to come back to the app.
So, yeah, Pliny. It says
Pliny? Pliny the Younger?
And also.
Okay, I can't hear you when you're off the app, Joshua. So you need to come back to the app and tell me what I'm looking up.
Right. So, I'm sorry for that. I'm reading the names and then I'm coming back. So, because I don't want to say it wrong. And then also, too, when you just said those Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, those are not three different religions. They all serve the same God.
No, that's just not true. I mean, that's obviously not true. There are things that the Muslim God did that neither the Christian or Jewish God ever did. There are things the Christian God did that the Jewish God never did. There are things the Jewish God did that the other religions never did. Right? It's like they're different gods. If you don't know that, no. I'm sorry. That's not my fault. So it looks like Pliny the Younger. So it looks like Pliny the Younger didn't write about Jesus until like 80 or 90 years after he supposedly died. So you're 0 for 2 so far, Joshua.
These are all non-believers.
Yep, you're 0 for 2. These aren't what I'm asking you for. Joshua, do you understand what I'm asking you for?
Let me ask you a question.
No. Do you understand what I'm asking you for?
I gave you what you asked.
Do you understand what I'm asking you for? Yes or no?
What?
Explain to me what I'm asking you for then.
I'm gonna explain you an asshole. Get the fuck out of here.
Fair enough. I mean, that would be my response if I knew that I'd been cornered and couldn't support my claims. I mean, it wouldn't actually be my response, but I know that assholes do that. All right, if you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus and you have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God. Hi, Fomi, how old are you?
I am 18 years old.
Okay, what God do you believe in?
I believe in Jesus Christ.
And what would you say is the best argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God?
So when you ask for evidence and justification, you're asking for historical context that Jesus was really crucified. That's what you just asked the other guy.
No, I asked him for that because that was what he said was the reason to believe in God. I just responded to his argument, asking him to support it. If you give a different argument, then that won't be involved.
So when I say I believe in Jesus Christ, it'd be kind of the same reason he did. But he was giving the wrong context. Like, he said he believed in God while also trying to prove why Jesus.
Well, so don't talk about other people. It doesn't matter what other people did. Their losses are not your loss. What's the reason to believe in God? Give me some argument or evidence.
Well, the reason why I believe in Jesus, because I believe Jesus is God, due to historical tablets found by historians around.
Such as?
So I forgot that name. You said it earlier while talking to that guy.
Tacitus?
Yes.
Okay, well, Tacitus didn't write about Jesus until he wasn't even born until decades after Jesus supposedly died. So obviously he didn't actually have information directly about Jesus. He just wrote about people believing in Jesus. Same with Josephus. He never wrote about Jesus. He just wrote about people believing in the Christus. Now, that could have been the Jesus of the Bible. It could have been a different figure. That's all Josephus or Tacitus ever wrote about. So if you want to say that there are historical documents about the character in the Bible, Jesus, then you would need to give me something about that character, not just about people who believed in something similar. So what is the evidence that Jesus was a divine person that actually lived?
Okay, so they found historical text.
No, don't say no, you cannot. I do not want to hear bullshit like they found historical texts, right? I want to hear the actual evidence or the argument. Don't tell me there's an argument. Don't tell me that there's evidence. Give me the argument or evidence.
Well, I can't tell you about it because it's written in a whole different language than I think.
So you don't actually have any evidence. Somebody told you that it existed and you just believed them.
No, because they have it online. You can go look it up.
Yeah, what am I looking for?
All right, so if
Nothing. 3, 2, 1, bye. I'm not going to sit and wait for you to do the research that you should have done before trying to have a debate about this. Thank you so much for the support. The Juicy Cap zips off the wise. That actually looks like it would be fun for after the stream. Thank you, Zuggy, for supporting Joshua. Appreciate you. You know, if you support the people that are debating with me and you want to send them gifts and stuff, but I absolutely support it by all means. Lady Low, thank you very much. Rel, I appreciate your support. Poopman Jones, you know I love you so much. Thank you for everything. Twin, appreciate your support. Thank you. What does this say? Nora Beauty Shop, thank you so much. KTM, Tiny Science, Lem, Poopman Jones again. Thank you all. Sincerely appreciate it. Gaytheist, what does this say? Gaytheist Intelligentsia, love it. That sounds like a lot of fun. Nate, okay, 0K, thank you very much. All right. We'll move on to the next person. Oh, you know, before we do, I do want to say thank you everybody for being here. Thank you for tapping and liking. Thank you very much for sharing out the stream. Thank you to everybody who's sending support, like George and both sides and everybody else. I sincerely appreciate you so much. I do want to just remind you guys, I actually have a YouTube, trying to build up the subscribers over there so that I can do some stuff there. So if hey, fuck yeah, thanks Philo Dragon, fuck yeah, I love these fucking dragons. These are so cool. When else am I ever gonna get to when am I ever gonna get to breathe fire? Not ever. So thank you so goddamn Philo Dragon, thank you so much. And Pokegarumi, thank you as well. No, yeah, totally understandable both sides. Definitely not trying to like force anybody to go over there, but if you use YouTube and you feel so inclined as to drop me a subscribe over there, I greatly appreciate it. Also have a Discord, built-in community there, would be happy to have you. Anyway, okay, I'll stop shilling. Thank you everybody for putting up with me. I'll move on to the next person. Just make sure if you're in the guest queue that you're an adult and you have some kind of argument or evidence for God. Hi,
Hello?
how old are you?
21.
Okay. How do I pronounce your name?
Just say TJ. TJ is fine.
Fantastic. And TJ, what God do you believe in?
Allah, Muslim.
Cool. Genuinely, like, I know this is nothing, and I don't mean this to be condescending, but I do appreciate you just answering the question, because it's been brutal tonight to get people to just tell me the answer to the question. So just want to thank you for that. Anyway, TJ, what would you say is the best argument or evidence that would give us reason to believe in a God?
Okay, before I answer the question, can I ask her what is your criteria? What are you exactly looking for when it comes to an argument?
Anything that provides justification to think that God exists, anything that raises the probability of a God existing, those kinds of things.
Okay, so I would say the fact that everything, everything exists for a specific exact cause. So everything has a cause or a use for it. The galaxy, the gravity, everything is so precise. The fact that we can have the laws of physics, the fact that we can calculate them.
It feels like you're like smashing a whole bunch of different arguments together. We can only talk about one specific argument at a time.
If you like, you can stop me. No worry.
Well, I just want to make sure that we can have a focused and productive conversation.
Yeah,
If you think that all of these things provide evidence, I'm totally fine doing like a cumulative case and going through a bunch of things. We just need to start with one thing specifically so that we can have a direct conversation about that one thing. And then after that, I'd be more than happy to move on to the next thing.
Yeah, I mean, just to summarize, I mean, it's just all one point. So how precise the universe is will be one.
Okay, what do you mean by the universe being precise?
The precision of the existence of the universe.
Okay, but you just said you can't define what you mean by precision by just saying that it's precise. Like if I'm asking what you mean by it being precise, telling me that it's precise doesn't help me understand what you're talking about. So I need you to clarify what you mean by saying the universe is precise.
So, for example, gravity.
What about
how precise gravity is?
What do you mean by saying gravity is precise? You just did the same thing again, TJ. You cannot use the word precise in your definition of precise.
All right. So the creation factor, what I'm talking, like the gravity, for example, it is made.
You're off the app. I can't hear you.
Okay, sorry. Yeah. So gravity is made to us to a certain degree that if it was but a little bit more or a little bit less, life would not happen, right?
Yeah, I know that if things were different, they would be different.
You're familiar with that one.
No, I know that if things were different, then they would be different. That's tautological. Yeah. I'm not questioning whether things would be different if they were different. My question is, why should I think that there's a God? Like, why should it matter to me that gravity is where it is?
Because why aren't they different?
Because they're not. I don't know what to tell you. Like, if you think that it's important that gravity is the way that it is, I just need you to explain to me why that's important and how that points to the existence of a God.
I think it's important because everything at the end of the day works for us to actually be alive.
No, you're doing the puddle thing, right? You're just saying, like, we look around and see that, like, the universe is shaped perfectly for us to be here. What you have to remember is that we're the result of billions of years of natural evolution, of life forms evolving and changing and adapting to the environment that they existed in. So it's not that the universe is adapted perfectly for us, it's that we're adapted perfectly for the universe because we came into existence as a result of natural processes that forced us to adapt to the universe. So it's not surprising that creatures who were created by that type of process fit well within the universe that they exist in. That's not surprising to me. What about this should give me reason to believe in a God?
Okay, but the universe has a beginning, right?
I have no idea why anyone would believe that. That feels like a massive pivot. Are we moving to a different argument now?
You don't think the universe has the beginning? You think
Are we moving to a different argument now? We're not talking about fine-tuning anymore. We're going to talk about the cosmological argument.
No, okay. So, I will keep going.
I'm fine with we want to switch to cosmological argument. Whatever. I'll talk about either. I don't care. I just need to know what we're talking about.
Okay, I keep to the one, the original one. Right?
Okay, so why should I think that gravity being set where it is evidence of a God?
Okay, so you explained how we adapted to it, not the opposite or something like that. So what I'm trying to say is that even if at the end of the day, it allowed us to be here today for hundreds and hundreds and thousands of years.
So what?
So what now? So that should be a proof that we're not here for fun. Like, I don't know how to explain it.
I can tell that you don't know how to explain it. We're here because of the natural processes, because of the dispositions of the way things are in the universe. Our existence, as far as I can tell, is simply a result of the dispositions of things in reality. I don't understand why we should think. I don't see any reason to think that there was any intelligent guidance involved. That's what you're supposed to be providing an argument for. So far, you haven't even attempted to do that.
Because I'm trying to build up to that.
I don't want you to build up to it. Stop trying to build up to it, TJ, and just get there. Because if you don't actually give the argument soon, I'm just going to move on.
All right. So all of that is being caused by something. Everything
that's the claim. Yes. What's the justification for that claim? Stop making the claim and please start justifying it.
The reason, because we exist, then it has to be like
That's the
governed
claim
by
you're supposed to be
something.
justifying.
You, for example, you give that power to natural.
I didn't
natural
give any
events.
power to anything. I'm saying that we
Yes,
can
you did.
explain. I'm saying that we can explain our existence and our origin as a species
You said-
without. I'm saying that we can explain our existence and our origin as a species without appealing to anything supernatural, without appealing to any intelligent guidance. You're saying that we should be appealing to intelligent guidance, and I don't understand why. This is the last time I'm asking. If you cannot just give me the argument or the evidence of why I should think that there was intelligent design involved or intelligent direction, I'm just going to move on. So what is the reason to think that there's a God involved in
Okay,
any
so
of
I'll
this?
answer. I'll answer.
Stop
Now, I
telling
want
me
you
that
to-
you're going to answer. Stop
Yeah,
talking about giving the
I wanna-
argument.
I wanna
This
ask
is
you a
legitimately no,
question.
TJ. This is legitimately if the next thing you say, if the next words out of your mouth are anything
I
other
actually-
than
I actually
okay.
want to
Oh, there you
answer.
go. There you go. I'm just not going to put up with the bullshit. All right. If you are in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus and you have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God. Hi, 60. How old are you?
In my 40s, do I have to tell you?
I'll just write 40s, I guess. What God do you believe in?
Yahweh.
Okay,
Jesus
so you're
Christ.
Jewish? Oh, you're Christian. Okay, well, you could have probably just said that from the beginning. What would you say is the best argument or evidence that would give us reason to believe in a God?
So I'm going to start with the scientific evidence.
Yeah, I don't want you to tell me about giving evidence. I just want you to give the evidence.
So in Genesis, God said,
You said
"Let
you were
there
going to
be
give
light."
scientific evidence. What's
I
the
am.
scientific
Listen,
evidence?
listen.
So we should not be talking about the Bible.
Harvard-
What's the scientific evidence?
Harvard has a scientific evidence that
Yeah,
they
where can
did
I
a
find it?
star in a jar.
Where can I find
So
it?
if you Google "star in a jar,"
And where's the peer-reviewed scientific paper that concludes that this is evidence for God?
I'm going to tell you. So if you want to read "the star in the jar,"
No,
the
you're telling
only
me the
reason
title of the peer.
why-
You're telling me the title of the peer-reviewed paper that concludes that the star in a jar is evidence for God.
Yes, because God spoke.
You're telling me the
"Let there
title
be
of
light."
60. You're telling me the
Oh, you
title
don't
of the paper.
understand.
So either you're gonna the next thing that you say is gonna be the title of the paper, or it's gonna be rescinding the claim, or
No,
I'm gonna
I
move
can't
on.
leave the app. So if you just Google,
All right, fair enough. If you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus and you have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God. Hi, Stump. How old are you?
I'm 18.
And what God do you believe in?
Jesus.
Okay, and what would you say is the best argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God?
So I'm not gonna lie, I don't believe in any God, but couldn't you just say that no religion is real?
All right, if you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus and have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God. Okay. Uh, 60, if you had proof, you would have presented it instead of sandbagging and pretending that you didn't have to. Bueller. Come on, David. I believe in you. Hey, thanks, Poopman Jones. Hi, Travis. How old are you?
Hello, I am 18.
And what God do you believe in?
I am Roman Catholic, so I believe in Jesus Christ, the one and only.
And what would you say is the best argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God?
Well, first things first, how Muhammad is still in his tomb and all of the other
Just give me
gods
the
that
argument or evidence for God. I don't need you to prove other religions that I also don't believe in wrong.
Well, Well, that's nice. I don't really know about the song. Right. So you want proof and evidence, but to gain all of that, there
So
is
just provide some
historical
argument or
reference.
evidence. I don't need the meta. I don't need you to complain
The
about how hard
argument is
of a bar it is to
there
reach.
is.
Just give the argument or evidence, please.
All right then. How about the like I think it's like 46 different people over I think it's like how many like hundreds of like thousands of years or whatever have all had the exact same like story.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy how many people have had Hindu experiences with the, with the Hindu gods and the spirits of the Hindu religion. It's been an enormous number of people over thousands and thousands of years. I totally agree that that's something that we probably should take seriously and try to explain, but I still don't think that's a good enough reason to believe that Hinduism is true. And if it's not good enough reason to believe that Hinduism is true, then it's probably not good enough reason to believe in any other religion either. Do you believe in Hinduism based on the thousands of years of people having personal experiences with their deities? Remember that more people for longer have had experiences with the Hindu gods than anything to do with Christianity. So if this is a good argument for religion, it's a better argument for Hinduism than it is for Catholicism. So are you Hindu? Are you converting to Hinduism now, Travis?
No.
Okay, so hold on. Okay, hold on. Stop, Travis. Travis, stop. What I'm telling you, hold on. Just calm down. It'll be okay. I know it's scary when somebody pushes back for the first time, but you'll be all right. What I'm trying to explain to you is that this argument that you're giving is much, much better support for Hinduism than it could ever possibly be for Catholicism. Since that's the case, if you actually thought that this was sufficient evidence to believe in a religion, then you would be Hindu way before you'd be Catholic. If you're not going to convert to Hinduism, then you also agree this isn't a good piece of evidence for a religion. So what would be a piece of evidence that you also agree is a good reason to believe in God?
The fact that Jesus Christ walked with us all, and that none of the other religions have ever had somebody who has walked with us in life.
Oh, that's completely false. Joseph Smith walked with people in real life. The Mormon religion obviously has that. Muhammad seems to have been a real person, so the Islamic religion really has that. If you look at Scientology, well, hey, I mean, if you think that your religion supporting pedophilia is a reason not to, or any religion supporting pedophilia is a reason not to believe in it, then obviously you couldn't possibly be Catholic after the Catholic Church supported, protected, and condoned pedophilia for years, for decades. So obviously pedophilia isn't a problem for you, so don't pretend that that's an issue with Islam. Obviously, I think it's an issue, but it's okay for me to say that because I'm consistent, right? You don't get to say that when you don't, when you still stay with the Catholic Church after all their bullshit. So, because you were wrong, and obviously other religions did have representatives of their religion and even holy and divine people walk the earth, and in conjunction with their religion, in connection with their religion. Again, if you thought this was a good argument, then you would have all these other religions that would be better candidates than Christianity. So clearly you also don't think this is a good argument. Stop giving me arguments that you don't actually believe in. Do you have any argument or evidence that isn't just complete, utter, dishonest bullshit?
To be honest, I just sort of saw you live and sort of thought I'd just join in and see if I could prove my point, but you just, to me, you seem like you don't want to believe in the facts that are
Okay,
given.
well, I just don't want to listen to bullshit. That's the problem. I'm just not going to listen to your bullshit. All right, if you are in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus and you have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God. Let me write down nothing but bullshit. Okay. Hi, TJ. How old are you?
Oh, 19.
Okay, and what God do you believe in?
Jesus Christ.
Cool. And then what would you say is the best argument or evidence that would give reason to believe in a God?
So if you don't believe in him, then who do you think made all the nature, all the animals, and who put us here?
I have no idea why I would believe that anyone did that. So why should I believe that we were put here by somebody or that these things were created?
It doesn't just happen.
I mean, why should I believe that there was a creator?
So you're not a nigger.
Yeah, I figured that was about the best that they would have. You could tell soon as they start getting that pushback. See what happens? Thank you, Lupine. I was just going to ask if somebody would be willing to do that. Thank you, Lupine. I appreciate you. Yeah, that's what no hate like Christian love. All right. I'm parched tonight. I'm going to have to go get another bottle of water. All right. If you are in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus and you have some kind of argument or evidence that will provide justification to believe in a God. Beer. Oh, I don't know about beer. Blessed with the man himself. Hello.
What's up, dog?
How's it going?
I'm not familiar with who you are. No, I'm just kidding. What's up, brother?
Oh, I'm just some idiot who yells at people online, so.
No, it's good. Yeah, no, I didn't. I just wanted to say hey. I mean, I don't have to be on the panel or nothing. I don't know if you do like a solo thing or what's up, but
I typically try to keep it solo, but
my bro.
Well, I appreciate it, man. I sincerely do. I typically keep it solo, but I mean, like Monkey Boy will hang out sometimes, or my buddy Lobes will hang out, and if you want to, you're welcome to hang out for a bit or whatever. But
those two guys are sophists. You hang out with those two guys, oh, man. Especially Lobes. God, what a sophist! No, I love those guys.
Yeah, Lobes was like the first when I very first started doing this. He was the first person who came and like. I don't know, that somebody else who had already been streaming that came and like showed me some love and support and stuff. So
Loeb's is such a nice dude. He's like one of the nicest people I've ever met.
He is. We've talked a bit and kind of become friends and stuff. And I love that guy.
Yeah, super cool guy.
Yeah, it's been awesome to meet people. Well, I mean, I already got to fangirl and tell you how much I appreciate you and your approach to things and how much I've learned from you. So. I got to do a little bit of that on the stream here and let everybody know I'm aware of the greatness in whose presence I currently exist.
No, don't do. I'm so awkward.
All right, fair enough. If you want to hang out, cool. If you want to drop down, that's totally up to you.
I'll chill. I'm just kind of. I woke up from a nap, so I'm just on the computer playing a little game and just chilling. So.
Fair enough. Well, feel free to chime in if you want to.
For sure.
Awesome. Well, we'll try to see if we can have some decent conversations. Maybe. It'd be a little bit better from here. We'll find out, I guess. Hi, patron. How old are you?
I'm 23.
Okay. And what God do you believe in?
In Allah.
Cool. And then what would you say is the best argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God?
Yeah, because everything that begins to exist has a cause. The universe began to exist, therefore a universe has a cause.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. Why should we think that the universe began to exist?
Like modern cosmology, like Big Bang, it's the starting point.
Well, why should we think that the Big Bang is a starting point? I mean, the current understanding from science is that the Big Bang says nothing about there being a beginning. We can talk about the survey that was done. It came out in May. They had about 1,700 physicists and cosmologists respond. And the question was about, one of the questions, this one in particular, was about what we should understand from the Big Bang and how we should interpret it. And the response was the majority response, about 70%, said that the Big Bang is a theory that says the universe evolves from a hot, dense state that says nothing about whether there was an absolute beginning of time or not. So the current scientific understanding of the Big Bang is that it does not give us a reason to believe in a beginning. So you're saying that there is a beginning. Why should we think there's a beginning? So we are
not limited by time, right?
So why should we think there's a beginning?
Therefore, before the beginning, there is a timeless, powerful, non-material cause.
So why should we believe that there's a beginning?
I just told you, because before the beginning...
No, that's assuming that there was a beginning. Before we can talk about...
asking you why we should think that there's a beginning. It's like really clear. It's like really clear what he's asking.
But can I ask you
No, we're not. No, we're not doing questions right now because you're just dodging my question. So you can ask questions when you're answering questions that you're asked. So in order to start getting us back on the path of being good faith, why should we believe that there's a beginning of the universe?
But you believe in gravity, you believe in
Okay, so I'm going to ask you one more time, and if your response is anything other than an answer to the question, I'm just going to move on. Why should we believe that there's a beginning to the universe?
Please answer, because I don't want him to move on.
How you begin, bro? It's not logical. It's not logical. Your question is not logical, bro.
It's not. Wait, there's a contradiction entailed by Is there a contradiction entailed by the proposition that the universe doesn't have a beginning?
Sure,
That's what I-
bro.
Sure.
I'm just asking him. He don't answer me. Okay, I don't know what's how we became. Just tell
Well,
me.
hold on. You just said there's like it's illogical. What do you mean by that? Is there like a contradiction? Like a
Bro,
logical
it's like
contradiction?
I'm
I
just
don't
repeating.
think
I'm
you know
just
what you're
repeating it.
saying.
It's like you ask me how gravity itself works. You believe in it, but how you don't know how it works. You don't
No,
see it.
you made the
It's
claim.
like the begin.
Patron,
How it begins.
patron, you made the claim that the universe had a beginning. Only thing I'm asking you to do is support your claim that you made. I would not be asking you to demonstrate that the universe had a beginning or give me a reason to believe in the beginning of the universe if you hadn't made that claim. It's your fault that you're getting asked this question because you made the claim. So I guess you have two options here. You can give a reason to think that the universe had a beginning, or you can rescind the claim.
And you were
Okay,
almost
like
you were
in
actually
science ways,
buddy,
the
buddy, real- I'm sorry,
13.8
real quick,
billion
real quick.
years the
You were
universe
Patron.
has begun.
Hold on, just real quick. I'm sorry to be like weird, but like the evidence we have is that when he asks you something, it's not directly related to what you're asking. So I feel like me interrupting isn't actually. It's not like I'm interrupting you, giving him the answer he's looking for, right? Because it's probably not going to get that. But let me try to help so we can get closer to that, right? Like you almost did it. You almost did what host was asking you. You were like, it's illogical, and like, oh wait, like we rule it out because there's a contradiction for the universe being past infinite, because that would be a reason. You'd be like, hey man, I can rule out the past infinite universe by this argument that shows it's illogical to have a past infinite sequence of events. If you did something like that, that would give everybody a reason to go, oh shit, okay, I guess the universe has a beginning then. So you were like kind of like almost there, and that's why I chimed up to ask you that. So just to help you where the dialectic is he's asking
No, bro,
you
my
why
English
should...
is bad, so I need to translate.
that's my
it
bad.
and-
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I see.
I'm sorry. That is my apologies. I should have recognized that. He just wants a reason why we should think the universe has a beginning, and you kind of almost were there. And like
I was already there. I told him there is scientific
no.
reason, and
Just
there
real
is
quick, stop! Don't interrupt me. Don't interrupt me. What I mean by you were almost there was you were almost like giving the idea of like why we should, which is, hey man, there's a contradiction. It's illogical. Now, if you could support that, we would all go, hell yeah. But it just doesn't seem like you have anything prepared, right? If I'm honest with you, it seems like you just think this, but you don't actually have anything of substance to support it, and that's fine. But that's just where the conversation
like
ends.
I
right?
cannot support a scientific how we begin, how the Big Bang theory started. You want me to explain that?
Well,
2
I
hours?
already explained to you that the Big Bang doesn't have anything to do with the universe having a beginning. So no information about the Big Bang is going to help us think that the universe had a beginning. So do you have any reason, like if you can't, like J Mike is explaining, if you can say, if you can rule out one of the views about the past of the universe, like namely, if you can rule out an infinite past, that would get us closer to thinking that maybe it did have an actual beginning. Can you do that?
Exactly.
No, I can.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, I appreciate you finally being honest about that. Do you have a different argument that you want to discuss?
No, but
Okay.
like how I can explain you that there is Allah. It's difficult.
All right. Well, hey,
Can I just tell him one thing before we boot him? Is that I'm someone who thinks that the universe did have a beginning, but I don't agree with premise 2 of the Kalam. So like this argument sucks for many reasons. One, like you're gonna have to give this empirical support, and Ogart's kind of pointing out, look, like the vast majority of experts are just not even convinced. Sean Carroll in his debate with William Lane Craig's like, I can pull you up like 17 different cosmological models that aren't starting with this beginning. So it's just kind of confused, right? And just worse than that, I'm somebody that on theoretical, well, I won't get into that. I'm someone who thinks that, hey, it seems slightly more plausible to me that the universe did have a beginning. I'm an atheist, right? So I think there's a beginning of the universe, but I don't think the universe had a cause. I think that the beginning of the universe was necessary, very similar to the way that you might think a law is necessary, right? But I don't think there's like this intentional mind at the beginning. So
So you believe you made by mistake, like all of this
no,
is by mistake.
no, we'll just move on. That has nothing to do with what I'm saying.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like we're getting anywhere or getting any kind of engagement with what's actually being said, unfortunately. Oh, what am I trying to do here? All right, here we go. So that's interesting. Because I take a very like agnostic approach to whether the universe has a beginning. I think that there's
It's more of playing. It's more of going, hey, I want to have as much agreement as possible. Because if I'm talking with like a Phil bro, more of my style is to go, well, look, like, I don't think these kind of arguments in philosophy work for anything. Like, I don't think I can give you an argument, like a deductive argument that God doesn't exist, right? I have them. I don't think they should convince you. And I don't think that arguments for God's existence should convince people unless they already believe God exists. So, like, what you should do is find something you agree about and then go, hey, well, look, which explains the data better, naturalism or theism? And I think naturalism is a view or a type of naturalism that I endorse. Wins that out. Now, if you put like a pew to my head and you said, do you really think at the beginning? No, really, it's a kind of dialectical tactic to go, hey, I want them to let their guard off, and I want to say, look, like, I think there's a beginning too, but this doesn't do the things that you think it's doing. Like, you think if you get an atheist to say there's a beginning, that somehow is like a gotcha. I still think when you have that view, it's more parsimonious. Right? Like, if people are familiar with like Occam's razor, like, it's a kind of crude way to put the argument that I think I can explain the data better, if not just equally as well as you, but I don't have all these weird ontological spooky commitments, right? To all this spooky non-physical stuff. And I think if I can do that, then that's what we should prefer. So I think it's often good to just go, hey, I think there's a beginning of the universe. That's fine. But like, it doesn't entail that there's a beginning, that it requires a cause. Because I can just think that initial state is just necessary. It exists no matter what. And they can't say no to that because they think that's God's moral status, right? So it's kind of a two-way thing to show them, hey, I'll play your game with you too, you know?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's fair. I guess you're just nicer than I am. I'm just
it's trying to be as epistemically humble as possible while still going, yeah, this isn't good, this is bad. Right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, well, that's fair. I'm just too much of an asshole to concede that much ground, I guess.
It's also just not fun for viewers probably to listen to like a lot of agreement. So.
Right. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna. Yeah. Well,
especially when I'm not actually agreeing. I'm just doing it for like a kind of move to show them that, hey, I'll give you all the toys, and it still isn't really helping you.
Yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't. But hey, maybe the next person is going to convert us both. So if you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus and have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God.
And to the person that says it's dishonest, I just think that like developing your metaphysics is an extremely hard and like it's a task that seems like really unreasonable to expect to have somebody fill out like all of their metaphysics. That seems like very unreasonable. So like, I'm sorry, like, I'm going to just show them that other positions disagree with them, and for good reason.
Yeah, I think that it's kind of the same as like when somebody says like, oh, you should believe in God because of souls. And it's like, well, actually, you could be an atheist and believe in souls, so that doesn't necessarily get us there. But anyway, hi, Lewis. Hi, Lewis. How old are you?
Hi, 32.
Okay. And what God do you believe in?
I don't believe in a hypothetical God that is separate from...
No, I didn't ask what you don't believe in. I'm asking what God you do believe in.
Oh, love then. Love.
Okay, well, I believe in love. What do you believe in that I don't?
Well, that's what I'm getting at, is that love is God.
Do you believe that there's like an immaterial mind that created and sustains the universe?
No, I believe...
Oh, okay. Well, then we're just going to be having a semantic dispute, and I'm not really interested in that, so I'll just go ahead and move on, but I appreciate you being honest. Oh, no. Oh, are we going to do a full-on panel now?
Did you poop your pants? Oh, you said, oh, no.
Oh, no. Monkey Boy's requesting, and now I like... Now we're gonna do
Yeah, that is an oh no.
exactly. Nobody wants to
Last
have
time I
Monkey
was on
Boy.
with Monkey Boy, he kicked me.
He's gonna come up and logic mock me.
He doesn't like me anymore. He's selling out to the corporate TikTok gods.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it real. TikTok slid me 100 and said drop J Mike.
No, I called someone stupid, and you can see on Monkey Boy's face. He's like, "Hey, man, let's relax, let's chill." I'm like, "You're stupid. You're so stupid." And he's like, "All right, Mike, I had to drop you. We gotta chill out a little bit."
Well, the guy was super sensitive, and it was becoming problematic because J Mike was getting mad with him. But also, it was too chaotic because there's like 3 people. I only came here to Oromog sitting next to y'all. I'm not gonna participate. I'm gonna drop, but yeah, look at this aura I'm just basking in with the two of y'all.
I mean, that's how I feel. Like I'm hanging out here with 2 of the people who made me want to do this. So, I mean, I'm having a
Monkey
great time.
Boy's like half my age and 3 times as smart as I'll ever
That's
be.
exactly what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure he is half my age.
Wait, no, how old are you?
No, I mean not really, but like I'm just saying, like I'm significantly older than you, and you're significantly more smart than I'll ever be.
Well, I don't know exactly how young you are, Monkey Boy, but I'm 40. I'm pretty sure you're in your 20s.
Oh, I'm exactly 20. Yeah.
Okay, so you're half my age. Literally.
Okay, not half my age, but you're still significantly smarter than me.
Yeah, literally half my age. All right, get the fuck out of here, Monkey Boy. You're being an asshole. Stop being so smart at such a young age.
Damn, Rugar, why are you so old? No,
I know, right? I hope you feel better. I did kick him. For you. Oh, fuck. All right. We're getting serious. Everybody stop fucking around.
Your friends are interrupting your flow here. I don't want to kill your viewership, so I can totally go back to what I'm doing.
Well, you know I love you, J Mike. Appreciate you hanging out.
Yeah. Get your viewership. I think the philosophy is not going to help, but I will say you're welcome to mine, despite the fact that I'm a view killer on yours. Okay.
Well, I appreciate that. And I sincerely appreciate. I mean, I was just fucking around kicking Monkey Boy, but I appreciate you both so much.
I wanted to come up and just say hey and just you know.
I sincerely appreciate it.
Of course, man.
Yeah, I won't fangirl too hard, but appreciate you.
No, hey, I'll fangirl over you. I don't even know what that means, but I'll let everyone else figure that out. All right.
Take care, man.
It's smexual. All right, peace.
Oh, all right. Okay, all right. I got a little bit hot and bothered there with both Monkey Boy and J Mike up here at the same time. I got to calm down. Go turn on my AC or something. All right, okay. If you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus and you have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God. Kingston, how old are you?
41.
Okay, and what God do you believe in?
I'm a Catholic Christian. Yeah.
Okay, and then what would you say is the best argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God?
I think the most I'd have to say is the moral. I say I guess would it be called teleological? That we're also basically what end are we made for?
Oh, okay. I mean, sure.
Yeah.
What would be the reason to think that we were made for an end?
I think there's a little bit of that C.S. Lewis thing where he says, if you smell something but you can't find it, it doesn't mean it's not there. If you're searching
No, hold on. I don't want you to tell me that you think that there are unanswered questions. I want you to give me a reason to think that your answer to the question is correct.
Right. No, I was using his as an analogy.
Okay,
so.
well, I don't want the analogy, please. Just give me the reason to think that we were made for some end.
Right. Well, that is one, because our human existence...
No, that wasn't a reason. That was just you saying there's something that you think we don't know. That's not a reason to believe anything. If I say that I don't know the answer to a complicated physics question, does that mean that I have reason to be an atheist? Of course not.
No, because it's about probabilities.
Right.
So
that you're missing the point. If I just say there's some question that I don't know the answer to, that doesn't then justify me to draw a conclusion about something that I think is related. Just not knowing an answer isn't a justification just not knowing an answer is not a justification for a position. So what I'm asking for is the justification for the position that God exists.
Right, and I'm giving it. It seems you don't like it, but I'm just saying, so there's a probability that we're either made for an end or we're not. And I think the probability says Yes, we
How
are.
did you calculate that probability?
Okay, I think we act as if we do.
How did you
every day.
calculate that probability?
Right now.
Yeah, give me the math. What's the numerator, the denominator, and how did you come up with them?
So by the human existence has had religion.
So what are the numbers? What are the numbers that go into this calculation of probability? And
Okay,
where
you
did you
really
get
like
those
to-
numbers?
You like to tell us how to answer. I get it.
No, I want you to actually support the claim that you made.
Well, I am.
It's not my fault that you made a claim you can't support. If I was
I am
you,
support-
if
no,
I was
I am
you,
supporting
if I
it.
was
I am
you,
supporting it.
if I was
I'm
you,
supporting it.
if I was you, what I would do is just rescind the claim and then make a new claim that I actually could support. But if you want to double
Well, I am
down,
supporting it.
okay,
You just don't
fantastic.
like
So
it.
so tell me the numbers and where you got them.
Numbers? Why does it
Yes,
have to be numbers?
because we're talking
Philosophical-
probability. Do you know what the probability is
Yes,
mathematical?
the probability is.
Okay,
you
so what are
either-
the numbers that you used to calculate the probability, and where did you get them?
There are no numbers. It's just a.
Then you
either
can't talk about probabilities, my guy. You
No,
can't
yeah,
say
yes,
what you
you
think
can.
is probable if you
Because
don't
there's
even know
either-
how to calculate the probability.
It's
Okay, so you
either-
cannot prevent you
Yes, I
cannot
can.
present a justification for your probabilistic argument.
I
So
am
do you
right
have
now.
anything you can support?
Yes, I can. There's
Okay,
more
so if you want to
probability-
continue talking about probability, then you're going to give me numbers. So the next thing that you say is either going to be the numbers to do this probability calculation, or it's going to be rescinding the claim and moving
All
to
right,
something
what's
else.
the hey, I got a little check on that. What's the probability that you haven't?
Fair enough. If you are in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus and you have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God. All right. Oh. Did I do something wrong? I always feel like every time you request, it's because like I fucked up somehow.
At this point, when have I come up at this point so far in your lives and told you how you screwed up?
I don't know. That's just how I just feel like you're like coming in here to like wag your finger at me like you did it again, Ogar.
No, what I'm honestly like, what I'm trying to do is like help these people out. It's like, no, I know the argument you're trying to appeal to. Here's how it's actually supposed to be run, and here's why it works, or how it could work, and here's why it doesn't work. But regardless, so you know, you're very familiar with the moral argument. I did see your look of confusion when he immediately went into the telos, the teleological argument, because it's you're right, like that's right, like those are two different arguments, and then he shifted into because the teleological is one of the 5 ways, but the argument he was talking about with C.S. Lewis, I think the title of it is the argument from desire. And I will say this, I love C.S. Lewis, but he was not a philosopher, and he did not know how to present good arguments in syllogistic form or robust philosophical form. Fantastic theologian, not a good philosopher.
Well, I'll disagree with the fantastic theologian part, but definitely agree with the not a philosopher part. No, I just think that at the end of the day, like people hear these arguments and they hear, you know, other people giving the arguments, or maybe they just like see videos where the argument is presented without any any critical analysis, and they think, oh, if I just say the words that I heard when it was presented because they sounded convincing to me, if I say them to an atheist, it'll also be convincing to the atheist. And so I think that like that's why typically my approach is to just push back and say, no, what is the support for this? Because at the end of the day, I'm just going to take how the argument is the way that they want to present it, and look for the support that would have to be present in order for the version they're giving to work. And at the end of the day, when they can't present it, I think that we all know what that means, right? I mean, it just means that they don't actually have support for their position.
Right. Now, I do see Kingston still in the chat. So Kingston, I'm on your side. I'm trying to help you out here. So I hope you're listening in. So the moral argument, Ogar has a pretty good refutation for it. I think it is possible to pass through it, but you got to know natural law theology really, really well to even stand a chance. And I'm not even sure I would be able to do it in a way that would satisfy Ogar.
Well, I think at the end of the day, it's just a matter of having the epistemic humility to say, here are claims I can support and here are claims I can't support, or maybe here's a claim and the best support I can give for it is this. I know that these are problems, but here are reasons why. Like, just having the actual humility to do that, but it doesn't seem. But anyway, no, I appreciate you trying to add some clarity. And I will say, to people like Kingston, CT, when he comes here, is, very kind and generous to me because, he's on my stage, whatever. But at the end of the day, like, Catholic Thinker is obviously a Catholic. He does believe in a God, and he does make his own content. Maybe not as much recently as sometimes in the past. I'm hopeful that you'll be.
I have an interview lined up for Monday,
Perfect.
and even without that, I've got a schedule set up where I should be able to start making content on the regular starting
Fantastic.
This upcoming week.
So the reason that I was pointing all that out is that I think that for whether it's you, Kingston, or any other theist here, I think Catholic Thinker is an example of someone who, when he engages in these debates, does so in good faith and with the intention to actually listen to the other side and to provide support for the points that he's making. I think that that's something that all the theists here, Kingston and otherwise, can learn from. So I recommend that you guys, if that's something that you're interested in, whether you're an atheist interested in seeing that side of the argument or a theist who wants to have a better understanding of the arguments that you're presenting, I recommend that you go follow Catholic Thinker and engage with that content. I'm going to move on to the next person, but I love you, CT.
Yep.
Take care. Awesome. Okay, so if you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're an adult. You have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God. I thank you, Lord. How old are you?
Hey, what's going on, brother? I'm 40 years old.
Okay, and what God do you believe in?
Yeah, I believe in the God of the Christianity.
Okay, and then what would you say is the best argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God?
That's good. That's good that you asked that question. I need you to bear with me just for a second, okay? Because what I'm about to explain could change the way you think. So first of all, do you believe in the duality of man?
I have no idea what that means.
Do you believe that man can be good and evil?
I think that sometimes people do good things and sometimes people do bad things.
Okay, good. So you believe in day and I mean, you don't have to believe it. You see, the God is pretty much screaming to us that He believes. Because
no, I don't have a reason to believe in a God. So I'm asking for the reason to believe in a God. You can't just assume that God exists in this, questions that you're asking and think that that's going to be convincing. So what would be a reason to think that God actually exists?
Ultimately, because we have senses. We have what we want to call 5 senses, or maybe
what
like
would
a
that?
6th
Why
one.
would our senses give us a reason to believe in a God?
Because what is the?
Don't ask me a question. Explain to me how our senses give us a reason to believe in God.
Our senses tells us what we're doing right and what we're doing wrong.
Okay, so give me the reason, give me the connection between us having senses and justifying the belief in a God.
Yeah, I was trying to do that, but you wanted to get to the ultimate point, so I was trying to give it to you. But if you would have bear with me, I could.
No, I'm
explain
not
it
going to
to you.
do this like meandering road. I'm not going to do the Socratic questions. I just want you to provide the logical inference or the piece of evidence that would suggest the existence of our senses, our ability to, take in sense data, provides justification to believe in God.
Right. Okay, so to answer your question, honestly, no one can answer you that. You can't answer that. So we're in the.
Okay, so you're saying that you don't actually have a way to provide justification to believe in a God.
Well, you're saying that you do.
Do you have justification to believe in a God?
Yes.
Okay, what is the justification to believe in a God?
Well, He came to me, and
how do you know that you properly interpreted your experience?
Well, the life experiences.
How do you know that you accurately interpreted your experience?
God tells us.
How do you know
the
that you
way, the
accurately
truth,
interpreted
and
your
the life.
experience?
He's the way.
So
the
I'm
truth, and
asking
the
you
life.
to explain to me how you determined what the correct interpretation of your experience was.
Well, the way would be the truth, because
Okay, so
everything
you're
that is
assuming,
true-
it sounds like you're just assuming that it was true. I'm asking you to explain to me how you determined that your interpretation of your experience was correct. So this is the last time I'm asking. If your response is anything other than an explanation of how you determined that you have the correct interpretation of your experience, then I'm just going to move on. How do you know you have the correct interpretation of your personal experience?
Because when I was about to off myself and I was about to kill myself, I asked God to reveal Himself to me, and He blessed me with this Holy Spirit that dwells in me.
How
That's
do you
how I
know that you correctly interpreted
called
that
to
is my
Him.
question.
I called to Jesus Christ. And
Okay,
He
so it
came
sounds like
and
you're just
saved
not
me.
going to give an answer. I know that you believe it. I'm not asking if you believe it. I'm asking how you determined that was the correct conclusion. All right, if you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you are 18 plus and you have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God. Hi, Brian. How old are you?
Hey, I'm 34.
Cool. And what God do you believe in?
I believe in Jesus Christ.
Okay. What would you say is the best argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God?
So I believe knowledge and wisdom, that a higher will provide knowledge and wisdom. So if they were to leave proof, they will leave it in a book, right? Because everything that you guys read
Okay, so
upon
just give
on
me
the
the reason to
book-
believe in God. I don't need all this story time.
All right, well, that's what I'm giving you. I'm giving you knowledge and wisdom. And
No, you're just
that
making
how they were
claims
talking
about God
good.
existing. Why should I believe that God actually exists?
Okay, there's good and evil, right?
Why should I believe that
Do you
God
believe in
exists?
good and evil?
Okay, I'm going to ask one more time.
So
If
in
your answer is
society-
anything other than an actual presentation of some argument or evidence, I'm just going to move
Okay,
on.
because we have judges. We have judges that put laws.
Why does that
We
give
have
us a
judges
reason
that
to
put
believe in a
laws
God?
For us to
Explain,
pick on the good
Brian.
side.
Brian, what you need to do is not tell me the things that exist. You need to explain how they provide reason to believe in God. Stop pointing to specific things that we both agree
They help
exist.
us understand
No,
them.
Brian, I agree that morality exists. Why should I think that God exists?
Because why?
Okay, are you
should believe-
driving?
Yeah, I'm driving.
Okay. Unbelievable. All right, if you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus and you have some kind of argument or evidence that will provide justification to believe in a God. Ethan, two things. Number one, begging in the chat to come up is going to get you skipped. Number two, you're not even in the guest queue. So there's no chance that I can bring you up because you're not even requesting. Yeah, definitely don't live and drive. All right, well, Deuce, you're in the guest queue. You're just not the next person. So again, if you're in the guest queue, make sure you're an adult and you have some kind of argument or evidence for God. I would have loved to hear some logic from you, Brian. Unfortunately, did not hear any. Hi, more you know. How old are you?
29.
And what God do you believe in?
Christian.
Okay, and what would you say is the best argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God?
Everything that has a beginning has a cause. Everything that exists to begin has a cause.
Okay, all right, so you're giving the cosmological argument?
Right.
Okay, why should I think that the universe has a beginning?
Well, I guess the first premise would be thing that evidence shows, like for instance, energy spreads over time. So if I give an example, like if I spill hot coffee, it goes cold. Batteries drain.
Why should I think the universe has a beginning?
Because if the universe is running forever, everything would already be evenly spread.
Why is that?
Cold. What do you mean, why is that?
I'm asking you to justify the claim.
Yeah, because we have stars. So if the universe always existed, we would have evidence of everything being constant. Right?
No, I have no idea what you're talking about. Why would we think that we would reach heat death if the universe had an infinite past?
You said, say that one more time?
Why would we think that we would have reached heat death if the universe has an infinite past?
Yeah, because
I cannot hear you if you're off the app.
no, someone called me.
Okay.
That was my apology. Right, so again, what I was saying again.
So what I'm asking you is, you're saying that if the past was infinite, we would have already reached heat death. Why should I think that's the case?
Well, because if everything's running forever, everything would already be evenly spread out.
Yeah,
cold
that's
and
just
dead.
the claim.
Instead-
The more you know, that's the claim again. Please don't repeat the
Yeah.
claim. I already know the claim. What is that justification for the claim?
Can you explain your question again?
Okay. Your claim is that if the past was infinite, the energy would all be spread out and we would have reached heat death, right?
Mhm.
Okay. What is the justification for that claim? What is the reason to think that that claim is correct?
Right, so if I would give a justification for that claim, let me try to give an example.
Well, can I explain to you? Maybe it's just easier if I tell you why you're wrong. Is that okay?
I mean, yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Because
So
I was going to say the only reason that I would give the reasoning for why is the second law of thermodynamics, right?
Yeah, and I figured they were
And it
probably going to
closed.
go to that. The problem is that the second law of thermodynamics doesn't apply to the universe because the energy isn't conserved on cosmic scales, and that
What?
argument is about the conservation of energy. So since energy
Wait.
isn't conserved on cosmic scales, the second law of thermodynamics does not apply on cosmic scales. Secondly, there's also a very respectable cosmological model called the Big Bounce, Big Crunch model that could involve the universe having a big bounce, like what we call the Big Bang, where everything spreads out for a long time, and then eventually it stops spreading out, and then gravity causes
before you
everything to
continue-
collapse back in, and then when it all collapses back in, entropy resets. So even if entropy was something that applied on cosmological scales, there are past infinite models that would involve the resetting of entropy, so there's no reason for us to think that necessarily an infinite past would lead to heat death. So since we don't have a reason to think that an infinite past would lead to heat death, what is the reason to think that the universe had a beginning?
Right. So the universe is a closed system. There's nothing outside of it to.
How did you
to add
demonstrate that the
fresh
universe
energy.
is a closed system?
What do you mean? How do I demonstrate it?
You made the claim. I assume you have support for the claim.
Right. So first, it's a usable energy.
So what
staying
is the
random.
support for the claim that the universe is a closed system?
If there was a maximum.
What is the
disorder state,
support
right?
for the
If
claim
there's-
that the universe is a closed system?
What is the support for the claim that the universe is a closed system?
Yes.
So we're kind of asking a multitude of questions. I'm gonna ask.
I'm
gonna
only
answer that
asking
question.
one question, so please answer that
you
question.
asked-
What is the
you
support
asked
for the?
two other questions
I'm
and
I'm
you
only
explained
asking
your
this
answer.
one question right now. What is the support for the
Yes.
claim that the universe is a closed system?
But yes, I'm gonna answer your question. But I'm saying
No, stop
all right,
talking. The more you know. The next thing that you say should be support for that claim or taking the claim back.
Okay. If the universe means all physical reality, right? Then there's nothing outside of it to add energy. A closed system
That's just
means-
restating the
Wait,
claim
wait,
again.
wait,
I don't
wait,
need you
wait.
to restate
Can
the
I-
claim
let me
again.
finish. You told me to answer the question. A closed system just means nothing goes in or out. By definition, it's closed automatically.
No,
you
I
get
mean
what I'm
no.
saying?
You have no idea, because in fact the universe isn't a closed system. We're getting massive amounts of energy dumped into the universe all the time. What do you think that the Big Bang is? It's tons of dark
you
energy
said the
being
universe-
dumped into the universe, forcing the acceleration of the expansion of space-time. Like, that's tons of external energy being introduced into the universe all the time. A closed system cannot have external energy being dumped into it. So obviously the universe is not a closed system.
Can I answer? Are you gonna ask me another question before I finish my answer? I'm gonna answer the question you just gave, right?
I didn't give you a question. I told you why you're wrong.
Okay. To show the universe is closed, right? You have to show. We have to first. What you're saying is you have to show nothing exists outside of it, right?
No.
It could feed.
No, you would have to demonstrate that no energy can enter and no energy can leave. But I've already told you that energy is not conserved on cosmic
But
scales.
that you would have to
So we
show
already
nothing
know.
exists outside
We
that
already
can
know
feed
that it's not
energy.
true that
To
energy
check that,
can't
you
enter
have
or
to
leave.
look outside the. No, you'd have to show that nothing.
No, we can just
exists
show that
outside
energy
that
is
can feed
entering the
energy,
universe.
but to check-
And the fact that dark energy
can
is
only
energy
get-
entering the universe tells us that it's
How
not
is
a closed
energy-
system. So can you demonstrate that dark energy is
You
not
have to
energy
look out-
entering the universe?
You would have to look outside the universe.
So what's the
which you can't do by
justification?
definition.
What's the
Any means
justification?
you
What's
gather
the
is outside the
justification for the position that dark energy is not energy entering the universe?
The universe means anything.
What
I
is
mean,
the
everything
justification
physical. So
for the
there's nothing
position?
outside,
So
right?
what is the
It's-
justification for the position that dark energy is not energy entering the universe?
You just asked another question. We just had a premise of what you just said. You're just asking.
Yeah, I know.
question
I
after
keep
question,
asking you
and when I
questions that you
answer it,
can't
close
answer.
You close. Wait. Right.
All right, so I'm going to ask you one more
What-
time, and once
wait,
again,
wait.
if you
Oh
can't
my
just
God.
answer the question, then I'm going to have to move on. So your claim is that the energy is a closed system. So in order to, if you don't want to rescind that claim, you need to justify it. Since we know that dark energy is energy dumping into the universe from apparently from outside of it, that would give us reason to think that the universe is not a closed system. In order for you to maintain the position that the universe is a closed system, you would have to demonstrate that in fact dark energy is not an example of energy being introduced into the universe.
one more time, I want you to explain that question. It
Okay.
cut out when you were talking. Go ahead.
So your position is that the universe is a closed system, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And closed systems do not gain or lose energy, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So my position that I'm telling you is that it seems like dark energy is energy that the universe is gaining. Now, you have to demonstrate that, in fact, that's not the case.
Period. Okay, so I'm gonna answer the question to my best abilities. And before I go off, can I finish what I say before you interrupt me? Is that fair? Can I let you
No.
finish what you were asking?
No, because if you go off topic, I'm going to introduce you, or I'm going to interrupt you and bring you back to the topic.
Okay. Can I give a quick correction first? That isn't my position. There's two messages ago. I told you to drop. We could drop the closed system argument, right?
Oh, fantastic. Okay, then we'll move on from
Because, okay.
Okay, so what's the reason to think that the universe has a beginning?
Okay, so again with the, I'm trying to remember what I said earlier. What were we talking about? The universe has a, I'm trying to remember what I said here. What I wrote down.
We were talking about past infinite. I explained to you that there is at least one cosmological model that would allow for an infinite past that wouldn't involve heat death because entropy would reset every so often. I mean, we didn't get into it, but the B theory or eternalism gives us reason to think that even if there was a first and or last moment of time, that doesn't mean that the universe actually ever came into existence.
That's what you said. Okay, I remember now. Yeah, you're right. You were talking about the bouncing universe, right?
Yep.
So expanding on average. I remember you said basically it just says when everything's expanding on average. So also
no, a bouncing universe wouldn't be expanding on average.
Well, there's a problem, right?
No, it's not a problem.
Wouldn't there be leftover disorder?
No.
What do you mean?
No, because entropy would reset. No, entropy would reset when you get to the hot dense state again, right? Because
if you have a cycle longer than the last, so running backwards, the cycle will shrink towards zero.
How do you know?
Back forever.
How do you know?
That you would have to beg. You're begging the question.
I'm not begging the question. No,
you're
saying. I'm telling you that there is a valid cosmological model or a legitimate cosmological model. It hasn't been 100% confirmed, but it is potentially correct. Like we don't have any disconfirmation for it. So it's possible, it's still on the table that there is a big bounce, big crunch universe that goes back infinitely. Now your claim is that if that were the case, that it would, that each bounce would be shorter than the last, or each previous bounce would be shorter than the one after it. And so then eventually there would have to be a first bounce. I need you to substantiate that claim.
Yes. Okay. So, and I'm going to ask the same question back to you because you're saying that, right? There's evidence that not everyone agrees with that point, right?
With what point?
The bouncing model. There's a reason that it's not
right. The
widely
model
accepted.
is that it's infinite. So obviously, no,
Right.
the model does not agree with you. You're saying that there's a problem with that model and it would have to be finite into the past. And I'm asking you to demonstrate that you're correct, to substantiate your claim.
Yeah, but you can't unrefute something that's a possibility. You can't say it doesn't.
I'm
can't
telling
say,
you
well, it's a
that
possi-
according to cosmologists who study this for a living, they're saying that there is a viable model that we don't have any reason to disbelieve that bounces and crunches could go back infinitely. You're saying that those cosmologists are wrong. I'm asking you to substantiate the claim that they're wrong, that that's a valid possibility or a legitimate possibility.
Well, wouldn't it be that the theorem covers any space? So wait, so a cyclic model, right? It generally ends each cycle larger than
No.
it started.
No.
What?
No.
Can you search that up really quick before you say no? Because you're saying no, but you have to provide evidence that what I'm saying is incorrect.
No, I'm
'Cause from
telling.
my
I'm
knowledge,
just communicating to you
No,
one
I'm
of the
saying it's a
cosmological
quick
models that
Google search.
refutes your point.
No, do a quick Google search. What I'm saying is completely right. You're saying this the model that you're just referring to, each cycle is larger than the one that started. That's a look it up.
Substantiate that. Give me the source.
All right, I don't have a computer in front of me.
You're
You
just
can look
making
you
it
don't have
up.
a computer. How?
You're just making it
Search
up. Give me the
Wait, you can
source.
easily-
What am I searching
wait,
for?
You can easily prove me wrong.
What am I searching
Say,
for?
In the secular models, generally each cycle is larger than the one that started. Which means that the net expansion rate. Oh, what's his name? Theon Hart?
Big bounce model can theoretically extend infinitely into the past, featuring an endless past chain of prior contractions and expansions.
What'd you search up?
Whether the big bounce, big crunch model can be past infinite.
That's not what I actually search up. Say, is each cycle larger than the other?
Does each cycle have to be
in a cyclic
larger than the last in a cyclic
models? In the cyclic model.
In the cyclic model.
Yes. What does it say?
No, it does not. The cycles don't have to be larger than the last. Thermodynamic models predict growing cycles. Modern physics theories offer workarounds to keep cycles identical, or they could even shrink. So it sounds like I'm just reading to you what I found on the search. You asked me to search it on Google. I searched it on Google.
You just said it says no. That's not true.
I just read it to you. I just read it. I'll read it again. No, each cycle does not strictly have to be larger than the last. While classic thermodynamic models predict growing cycles, modern physics theories offer clever workarounds to keep cycles identical or even shrinking. Your claim is that necessarily each cycle has to be bigger than the last, and I'm telling you that that was a thought that was that people held to in the past, and there's currently physics that tells us that's not the case. So no, it is not necessarily true.
What physics?
Modern cosmological models use different mechanisms to bypass Tolman's trap and keep cycles uniform. The Steinhart-Turok ekpyrotic model, dark energy dilutes all existing matter and entropy to near zero before the crunch. The universe then contracts and bounces with a fresh, empty start, keeping all cycles identical in size. Or there's the conformal cyclic cosmology. Penrose proposed at the end of a cycle, the universe expands infinitely until it fades away. Time loses meaning, and then an infinite future. Well, that's a totally different thing. Phantom energy models utilize aggressive phantom dark energy.
You're gish galloping right now.
I'm not gish galloping. I'm reading to you what you wanted, the information that you wanted.
No, because obviously I can search up information and read.
Yeah, so search off the Steinhart-Turok ekpyrotic model. That tells you that's one of the models that says, well, you said you wanted to search it up. I'm telling you that's one of the models that includes a past infinite series of bounces and crunches that doesn't require each one to be a different size than the previous one. So again, we have no justification for your claim. You begged me to search up your argument for you, and it turns out that you were wrong. Also, this isn't even that important because even, as I already told you, even if the past was finite, even if there was a first moment, that doesn't give us any reason to think that the universe came into existence. So even if time has a beginning, we have no reason to think that the universe has a beginning. So you need to provide support for your position that in fact the universe does have a beginning. What is the support for that position?
Okay, so my support for that position that the universe does has a beginning is based off the Big Bang, right?
No, the Big Bang says nothing about the beginning of the universe. I get that. We have the survey from the cosmologists that tell us that 70% of them say the Big Bang is a theory that says the universe evolves from a hot, dense state that says nothing about whether there was an absolute beginning of time or not. So obviously the current scientific understanding of the Big Bang is that it says nothing about there being a beginning. So since the Big Bang doesn't help you, what is the justification for thinking that the universe had a beginning?
Can I agree with you. I never you.
What is the justification for your claim that the universe has a beginning?
Gosh, I'll wait for you to be done.
Yeah, what is your justification for your position that the universe began to exist?
Okay, I will begin speaking. Right.
All right. So what you're going to do, if you do that meta bullshit again, I'm just going to drop you. So what I'm asking you to do, stop crying, stop being a little bitch baby. And just tell me the justification for your position that the universe came into existence.
All right. You can't. So you're saying the universe is infinite?
No, I did not say that. I just got done explaining to you how even if it's not infinite, we have no reason to think that it came into existence. So for the last time, what is the justification for your position that the universe began to exist?
Okay. I'll start over. My justification why the universe had to begin to exist is expansion. We can see.
We already discussed that the beginning of the expansion does not necessitate the beginning of the universe's existence. We're not talking about if the universe began expanding. We're talking about if the universe began existing.
Wait, so every cosmological model built to avoid beginning has run into specific things, right? So I'll
Just
say
tell me
it
the
covers
justification, or I'm moving on.
an infinite past with requires an infinite series to have been completed.
No,
know
I
you said
just said
there's
that the
nothing,
past doesn't have to be
but
infinite. Hi,
right,
pensive. I
you're
don't know that we've really
Hey
talked too
guys.
much. Are you really pensive?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, what the fuck? I don't know if you maybe have something to add here. Maybe you can get through to this person, or maybe I'm just completely wrong and you could correct me. I don't know. I don't know what's happening at this point.
No, it's been someone in the literature has been as someone in the literature that's studying in the literature, this is very sad. This is very sad. Like all those like classes of models that were listed off were just completely ignored as obvious counterexamples to the dispute.
right.
No, like right to Ogar. Like no, like right to Ogar.
Right. No. Okay. No, I was not being like right as in you're right. I was being sarcastic. Okay. Okay. So the
Oh,
argument. All right. We can say the argument's over at that point. All right. We'll go on to the next one.
What?
Okay, you just want to concede the Kalam?
Let's go.
I mean, fair enough. Is there a different argument that you want to present that hopefully you'll be a little bit more good faith about?
And I just want to, before I continue, sorry, and I ask two
Go.
questions. So the universe is. You're saying I want to make sure I get your point. You said the universe is not eternal.
I'm agnostic to whether or not the universe has a first moment of time. I don't know whether the past is infinite or finite. I have no idea. But regardless, let's imagine that there is a finite past with a first moment and even a last moment. Let's imagine the timeline is finite. There's only a specific number of moments from the past to the future. That could be the case in a universe that never comes into existence or goes out of existence. I would just take an eternalist position. And I hold to the eternalist position regardless, but if it's a finite timeline if it's an eternalist finite timeline, then you would just have something like a Hartle-Hawking state at the beginning and or end of the timeline, and the universe would never have. We would still not have any reason to think the universe ever came into existence.
Okay, and then can you explain to me before? I want to make sure I understand what you're saying. Can you explain to me that? So you're saying it never came into existence.
Mm-hmm.
So it was. If it never came into existence, then it always existed. But you're saying no. Yeah, can you explain that to me? Because it sounds like you're in the middle ground.
Yeah. So let's imagine imagine a sidewalk, right? If you're walking, like say you're walking through a city, when you cross the street, a sidewalk starts when you get to when you cross the street, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then as you're walking down, you go a finite distance, and then the sidewalk ends and there's another street, right?
Mm-hmm.
So just because you're traversing, just because that sidewalk has a finite distance, and you're able to traverse from the beginning to the end as you walk across it, the sidewalk itself doesn't have to begin to exist when you start traversing, and it doesn't have to stop existing when you leave it, just because you're no longer experiencing the traversal of the sidewalk. In the same way, now that's obviously a three-dimensional example of a person walking on a sidewalk, but in a similar way, in an analogical way, we could say that the whole of the universe is one big four-dimensional block that all exists, and then time is just one of the dimensions of that block, and because of the nature of the type of creature we are, we simply experience a subjective passage of time while we experience moving along that axis of the existing universe. So the whole timeline could exist all at once with a beginning and an end, but it never come into existence or go out of existence. This is just a consequence of the B theory of time, which is all but necessitated by Einstein's theory of relativity. I think it's special relativity.
Okay.
I'm no physicist.
Okay, I see. Okay, I think I get a grasp of what you're saying. Let me write this down so I don't mix up your wording.
Yeah, the things I would write down are B theory and or eternalism. The common sense, quote unquote, or intuitive position on time is typically called A theory, or maybe more specifically presentism, but I hold to eternalism.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. So, all right. Okay, that makes sense. P theory.
Interesting.
You've got a very calming effect, Pensive. You haven't even had to do much.
I know.
The whole tone changed. I don't know. You got some aura on you, I guess.
Have you ever seen Solo Leveling?
No. I'm not a
It's
nerd. Just kidding, I am a nerd.
It's like an anime where this guy just like has like some level of mechanics.
Let me ask you a question. Okay, so I'm trying to understand your 4-dimensional thing. If I was even granting you the whole 4-dimensional block, right? Why? My question would be, why does the block exist rather than the different one or none?
I don't know that question is going to do any work, because if we say like, oh, we don't know why it exists, so there must be a God, all we've done is move the question back a step, because now we have to ask, why is there a God instead of no God? We haven't answered the question. All you've done is try to solve a mystery by appealing to a bigger mystery.
No. I'm asking you the question, but like you kind of avoided the question. Cause I understand we can go off and say you're kind of assuming what I would say. I just want to know your answer.
I'm saying it doesn't matter whether there's an answer or not. I don't know if I have a satisfactory answer. I would probably just say, because I would say something that you would probably think is a cop-out, like it just necessarily exists. It couldn't fail to exist. Now, I don't know that you're going to consider that an explanation, and that's fine.
Yeah.
I don't really care, because it doesn't matter. Like, appealing to a bigger mystery doesn't, like, it doesn't bother me that I can't answer that question, because you don't have a better way to answer it.
Yeah, because I would say the block has finite edges in past direction, right? Fine. It's also the particular, like, I would say, like, physics rather than other physics. Like, how would I explain it?
So you're just trying to move to fine-tuning?
That's like
No.
strictly orthogonal though, too. The original.
Because I want to push, because every sidewalk you've ever walked on was poured by someone. You picked an example that has like a maker, right?
Okay, so is this Grok or ChatGPT?
This is Grok or ChatGPT. How do I?
Both suck.
Yeah.
Like low key, Claude is like where it's at.
Let me show you my surroundings. How do I turn?
I don't know. I'm not really stoked about you turning your camera on, if I'm honest.
I don't even have a computer. I just moved into here, so now I have none of them.
Okay, so I'm just looking for any reason to believe in God. We were talking about the Kalam for a long time. We didn't get anywhere.
You got off the point and said I had a Grok or anything like that.
Because all you're doing is asking questions that no matter what the answers are, don't get us closer to having a reason to believe in God. So what I would like to do,
the sidewalk, but we have to understand the sidewalk was created by someone.
I was just giving you an analogy that you could understand, so I could explain the concept of something that you could experience as having a beginning and an ending, even though it doesn't come into existence or go out of existence in relation to that apparent beginning and ending. That's all I was trying to explain.
Can you give an example with that doesn't have?
No, that's irrelevant. Is there any reason to believe in a God?
Yes, I provided you the reason.
What's the reason?
Okay, I said for everything that has begin to exist has a cause. You said no, that's not true.
I didn't say that's not true. I'm asking you why we should think the universe began to exist. That's what we've been talking about for the last 26 minutes, and you still haven't provided even one single reason to think that the universe began to exist. You said you were conceding this argument and going to move on to a different one, and now you're trying to run right back into the argument that you couldn't support.
Because you didn't give any true. You didn't.
Okay. Here's what we're going to do. The more you know. Either you're going to move on to a different argument that hopefully you have a better way to support than you've done with the Kalam, or I'm just going to move on. I'm not going to do another half-hour merry-go-round with the Kalam with you.
Okay. You talked about fine-tuning. We can go into the argument of fine-tuning.
Ooh.
Okay, do you want to present fine-tuning, or do you want me to tell you why I don't think it's evidence for God?
You can start off with saying why you don't think it's evidence for God.
Okay, and to clarify, you said you believe in the Christian God, correct?
Yes.
And one more clarification: do you think that God is all good, all knowing, all powerful?
I believe that in a sense, when you say all powerful, He can create anything that's possible. Right?
Yeah, sure, like anything that's metaphysically possible, or maybe even logically possible.
Correct.
Okay. So if God exists,
hang on. Sorry. You're cutting out. Say something again for me.
If saying something.
Oh, perfect. There you go.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So, if the God that you believe in exists, that God could create life with any possible set of physical constants, right?
Mhm.
Okay. And if he can create life with any possible set of physical constants, then that means that his existence doesn't predict any particular set of physical constants, right?
Not sure what you mean by that.
So let's say that by his nature, he wants to bring about life. That's typically what the fine-tuning proponent wants to say, right?
Sure.
Okay. And because he can bring about life with any set of physical constants, his desire to bring about life would not predict any particular set of physical constants. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Before you go, what do you mean by physical constants?
Gravity, the cosmological constant, the strong and weak nuclear forces, that kind of stuff.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So since the hypothesis that this God exists does not predict any particular set of physical constants, then finding the fine-tuning of constants, finding a particular set of physical constants, cannot possibly be evidence for this God because it's not predicted by the hypothesis. Because you see, evidence is that which is predicted by the hypothesis and unexpected by its negation. Since it's not expected under the theistic hypothesis that we would find the conjunction of life with fine-tuning, finding the conjunction of life with fine-tuning cannot possibly be evidence for the hypothesis.
Okay, and I'm going to repeat back to you what you said just to make sure that we're both, I'm understanding what you're saying. So you're saying that the hypothesis that God exists does not predict any particular physical set of physical constants, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that fine-tuning of constants, like finding anything particular, like a particular set of physical constants cannot be possibly be evidence for God because it's not predicted by the hypothesis.
Correct. You can say that your hypothesis predicts that God would create life, but I don't think that you can reasonably say what the constants would be if your hypothesis was true, because God doesn't require any specific set of physical constants in order to create life.
Okay, so okay, so my question is, if E is evidence for H, right? Wait, no, wait. I'm trying to understand, make sure.
Wait.
I'm trying to make sure I'm understanding here.
Pensive, am I wrong? Does this not sound like somebody reading off of an AI?
Wait, yeah, because someone in the relevant familiar isn't saying E for H. They're gonna say evidence for hypothesis. They're gonna say that.
Yeah, it sounds like someone who's like doesn't know how the philosophy or math would deal with probability of E given H. Like none of us are going to say that.
No.
Like that's in all the books, and AI would say that, but typically that's not.
And they also have like they in before they get to like the symbols, they have like the fill-ins, like evidence is E, hypothesis H. They don't say it like that.
Yeah.
Also, it's just like those moments where like you're writing the paper and the professor has like tell Chad if this is an AI, like write Moana in the middle of fucking in the paragraphs or some shit. I don't know if you've seen those books.
Yeah, I've seen that. It just feels like seeing the M dash, and you're like, well.
I stopped writing like with M dashes because of it. Because I used to I was like a very grammatic person like when I was like earlier in my school years, and then AI like started getting prominent with writing. And I was like, fuck, dude, like fuck.
Yeah, I gotta adjust. I'm sorry. Look. The more you know. Maybe you're not, using any AI. I don't actually know for sure, but like we're not really making any progress here. And your responses do make it sound like you're like reading off of something and you're trying to get help somewhere. But
no, I mean I can hang on. I'll turn on my screen.
No, I don't need you to do that. That's fine.
Okay, I was just saying. I think I was trying to basically say evidence doesn't require like a prediction.
Okay, what is your definition of evidence?
I would say evidence is I mean, it depends because there's different types of evidence, right? There's like historical evidence.
No,
There's
there are different types of evidence, but I'm just saying evidence simpliciter. The definition of evidence simpliciter is going to be something along the lines of data that raises the probability of a hypothesis. But if you know anything about evaluating evidence, especially under some kind of like probabilistic framework like Bayesianism or something like that, you're going to understand that the only way for a piece of information, a piece of data to raise the probability of a hypothesis is for it to be expected by the hypothesis and unexpected under its negation. So if we're saying that fine-tuning is evidence for God, what that translates to is the fine-tuning of the physical constants is more expected if God exists than it is if God doesn't exist. Because my whole point here, my entire argument right now about fine-tuning is that in fact, if God exists, that the hypothesis that God exists cannot possibly predict any particular style of physical constants, any conjunction of certain types of physical constants in life, because the type of God that you're positing does not need a specific set of physical constants. If it was the case that your God needed a certain type of physical constants in order to achieve his goals, then you could say, yeah, this set of physical constants would be predicted by the God hypothesis. The problem is you're saying that your God can do anything logically possible. If it's logically possible to have life exist in a universe that is hostile to life. Since that's logically possible, God can do it. Since God can do that, the hypothesis that he exists would not predict a specific type of set of physical constants. So finding specific types of physical constants cannot possibly be evidence for God. It would have to be predicted by the hypothesis, and at the very, if not unexpected by its negation, at least much less expected by its negation.
Maybe I'm confused on what you're saying. So you're saying the hypothesis. Wait, what? So you're saying is, I guess let me speak back to you. So God has to create us. Is his purpose is what you're saying? So that
No, I'm saying that like the way that the fine-tuning argument typically works is the theist wants to say, if God exists, he would want to create life. If he wants to create life, then he would create a universe that has physical constants that are friendly to life, that support life. I'm challenging that assumption. I'm saying that because God is omnipotent, then we wouldn't predict a certain type of set of physical constants if he wanted to create life. I'm granting you
you're saying, okay, so you're saying that he would, like, it's the idea of fine tuning is saying that life, the universe wasn't created to sustain life.
What?
No, the idea of the fine-tuning argument is that the fine-tuning of, or the apparent fine-tuning of the physical constants is more likely under theism than under naturalism. I'm challenging that assertion. I'm saying that, in fact, there is no reason to think that the fine-tuning of the physical constants would be expected by theism. And if it's not expected by theism, then we can't say that it's more likely under theism than naturalism. At best, I think we could just say that it's unexpected by both views, and it's a wash. Now, I would personally, if we were having a better, engagement with this argument, I'd be happy to give a second stage where I think that I can show that, in fact, fine-tuning is evidence against God, but I don't think that I think that would be going too far.
I got you. I think because I'm slightly confused on what you're asking, so let me do some more research and get back to you.
Well, I appreciate that approach. Yeah, okay. Well, thank you for the conversation, and I wish you the best. Take care. Oof.
You gotta love it.
Yeah, that was rough. But I did notice a massive difference after you came up.
Yeah, I know.
That was wild.
I was trying to explain the difference, and this guy kept interrupting me, dude. I was trying to say that I'm like Sun Jin Woo, because the whole point of that guy is like he has like fucking plot armor to the max, dude.
Oh.
Like if he's about to die, he gets like level ups and he gets like stronger, and he like beats anyone he wants. He doesn't lose. It's like that's his whole fucking character.
Yeah, I don't watch any of that stuff, so I don't know shit.
I didn't either, and it was till I started hanging with Monkey Boy. He was
Yeah.
like, yo, you should watch this. You should watch it. I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'll watch his lives and he'll talk about anime and stuff, and my eyes glaze over. But at least when he comes up here, we can talk about horror movies. Now, we don't like all the same
love
horror movies, but nice.
I love horror movies.
Well, I got the Saw shirt on tonight. Yeah, I'm a big fan of like slashers and stuff too, like the Jason movies. Love them.
What'd you think about Obsession?
I loved Obsession. I thought it was fucking fantastic.
I love the soundtrack to it.
Yeah. That was really good. I don't know. I feel like we've gotten some like really solid horror movies in the last few years. I think like the Smile movies are fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really good ones that have been coming out. And some good shit that looks like it's on the horizon, but I don't know. Hard to tell what's going to be good and what's not.
Are you also a Marvel guy?
I mean, I don't love it, but you know, I probably watch most of the movies.
I was gonna ask if you watched the Spider-Man movie that just came out.
If you spoil it, I will find you. I got tickets to go to it tomorrow.
It's so good.
I'll be seeing it tomorrow. But yeah, no, I have not seen that yet. I was thinking about going tonight, but I decided to stay home and stream. And I'm not 100% convinced that was the right call.
Yeah, I literally just got done watching it like a few hours ago. It was so good.
All right, well, I'll have to go check it out. Yeah, there's a bunch of shit coming out that looks like it could be cool. Yeah, Polymagic mentioned that Other Mommy. I don't know what to expect from that. That might be good, but it might also be really dumb, so we'll see. I'll probably end up going to it. I go to watch a lot of movies. I'm fucking... When I said earlier that I wasn't a nerd, that was a bold-faced lie. That's probably one of the biggest lies I've ever told in my entire life. Oh, all right. Well, I appreciate you helping out because it did make a difference.
Yeah, of course.
But I'm gonna go back to my solo leveling.
All right, we'll see.
Nice to make your acquaintance. Take care. Awesome. All right. Okay. All right. Wasted. We already did this yesterday. Do you have a fucking... Yeah, you want to run fine tuning? What you got, bitch?
You ready to get shit on, or what?
How does it feel to lose?
All right, I'm gonna run my argument here.
Oh God.
If black holes exist, information paradox exists. We need some way of account for this. White hole theory accounts for this. Baby universes would follow. Fucking universe would follow. That would lead to a parent universe. Every parent needs a father. God the Father exists.
So I'm going to call this the argument from Cosmic Daddy.
I made that earlier, and it's the best argument I've ever made.
I mean, it's so much better than so many theistic arguments that I get. So I feel like if I didn't already know that this was your alt, I probably
Damn
would.
it.
You fucked up by doing this yesterday.
I know, but it was too good. I had to.
All right. Well, I can't wait for the video of you doing this on somebody else's live where I don't have to be mad that I'm the one getting trolled.
All right, I got you.
Take care, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking father. All right. Okay. If you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus and you have some kind of argument or evidence for God. We're going to get back to an actual debates here.
Yeah, hello.
Hi, Thought. How old are you?
What's up? Yeah, I'm 18.
Okay. What God do you believe in?
Yeah, I believe in the Christian God.
Okay. And what would you say is the best argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God?
Yeah, perfect, man. I got you. So P1 is gonna be like, if a true miracle exists, then there must be a divine intervention. P2 is gonna be a divine intervention needs a divine factor. P3
Okay,
is
hold
gonna
on.
be
If a true miracle exists, there must be
There's gonna be,
divine intervention.
Yeah, and what I mean by miracle, of course, would be like something extraordinary that's gonna be like scientifically impossible. You agree with my definition?
Something that's scientifically impossible.
Yeah, do you agree with my definition?
So we would maybe say like nomologically impossible.
I don't really track. Repeat?
You're just saying something that's nomologically impossible.
I mean, I guess I don't really understand the word, but yeah.
Oh, okay. It's just like something that's physically impossible. Maybe that's a better way to say it.
Yeah, got you. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so if a true miracle exists, there must be divine intervention. Premise 2.
Yeah, it's gonna be divine intervention. It's gonna need like a divine factor.
What do you mean? Do you just mean like
Yeah,
a
like
divine
for
actor
example,
or agent?
Yeah, since an act is gonna be taking parts of something, then there must be something acting upon that act. right? Like you would say any act is gonna need some reason for why that act exists.
Okay, so divine intervention requires a divine actor.
Yeah, or
Okay.
divine agent. Yeah.
Okay. Premise 3.
So, yeah, P3 is gonna be Padre Pio Stigmata is gonna be an example of a true miracle.
I'm sorry, what?
Padre Pio Stigmata. Do you want me to type in the chat? If you
If you could just like say it like a normal person, that'd be cool.
I have really bad accent. Padre Pio Stigmata. It's really how I pronounce it.
Okay, well, you're not talking like that when you say any other word. So you're just putting on the accent when you say this phrase. So if you just stop doing that, it'll be a lot easier for me to understand what you're saying.
Padre Pio Stigmata. I don't know what's Padre, like Padre, Pio, Pio, Stigmata, Stigmata, I believe. Is that what you want?
Yeah, I mean that helped, but you could just stop doing the fake accent when you say it.
Stigmata? What?
No, when you say Padre.
Padre Pio?
Yeah, see, you notice how you're doing that with the R's only when you say that word, and you're not doing it with any other word?
Okay, Padre Pio. My bad, I call myself. My bad, that's on me. So, yeah, P3 is gonna, like, follow, right?
So, the Padre Pio Stigmata is a true miracle?
Yeah.
Okay, what's premise 4? Or is that just
P4 is gonna be like, therefore there's gonna be a divine factor. P5, this divine factor we call God. The conclusion, God exists.
Okay, so conclusion 1, there's a divine agent, and it's just going to be like if there's a divine agent, then God exists. C2, God exists.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the independent confirmation that this is a true miracle?
What do you mean by I don't really understand.
Independent confirmation, so a confirmation from a non-biased source.
Oh yeah, so you want a source? I can give you the I forgot what university it was, but give me a second. You want me to type in the chat?
No.
Okay. I'm getting the source up. Do you take like I don't know how to pronounce his name. It's like Luigi Romania. He was the guy who checked out what's it called again? Padre Pio's wounds. And he kind of made a statement about it. Are you gonna record this as like an unbiased evidence or an unbiased document?
I don't know who this person is, so I have no idea whether it's biased or not.
Yeah, I explained to you that he was a person. He was a skeptic who examined his wounds and
how do you know that he was a skeptic and this isn't just part of the story?
Yeah, so the Vatican explicitly explained that these people, or that they hired atheistic people, and just to prove that the Vatican
that's bullshit.
Just,
the Vatican doesn't do that.
Why. I'm explaining why.
No,
right?
So what's the external confirmation from outside the Catholic Church that this was actually like a skeptical inquiry into this matter?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Luigi Romana is a well-known skeptic. Wait, just to prove it. Wait, give me a sec.
Luigi what?
Real quick. Romelia. I don't know how to pronounce his name.
How do you spell it? R-O-M...
R-O-M-A-N-E-L-L-I.
N-E-L-L-I?
Yeah.
Okay, Luigi Romanelli. Okay. 19... Yeah, so this is like over 100 years ago. Examined this guy at the request of church superiors.
Yeah.
What's his name? Romanelli?
Yeah.
Trying to see if I can find more information about him. It seems like this is just like all the other Catholic miracles where yeah, okay, so he was a doctor. Concluded his investigation. Okay, so apparently I can't find any information that would give me any reason to think that this person wasn't, in collusion with the church. And then at the end of the day, here's the other problem though. let's imagine that we grant that this absolutely happened. Like this guy really had these wounds, and we don't have any medical explanation. I don't think that that's the case, but let's imagine that it truly is medically unexplained. How do we know that this was actually? Because what I'm going to say here is that there's a difference between an event that we don't know the physical explanation for versus an event that cannot possibly have a physical explanation. So you need to give some reason to think that this is one of the things that couldn't possibly be explained nomologically, and not something that we just don't currently know the nomological explanation for.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say like it's gonna be like violating the laws of biology.
Yeah,
Would
that's what you
include,
need to demonstrate. Yep, that's exactly
yeah,
the thing
like
you need to
maybe like
demonstrate.
the laws of like cell theory.
Yeah, so that's what you need to demonstrate. Yep. What's the demonstration that that's the case?
Yeah, hold up. Let me just say it verbatim, so at least I don't misrepresent the law.
No, don't tell me the law. You need to tell me how you confirmed that this is definitely a violation of that law.
Yeah, so basically, like, just for context, right? His wounds are going to like vanish the day of his perishment or the day of his death, and of course we can. Agree
That's not
it's gonna
true.
be, like, magically
No,
possible.
that's not true.
You don't think the stigmata did that? That's under
No,
the
I mean I
stigmata.
just got done reading the story. It said that it was there for decades after his death.
No, the Padre Pio, like his stigmata vanished the day of his death. Yeah.
No, that's not the story at all. Let me go back
Yeah,
to
that's
what I
what?
got. The wounds.
Yeah, just search up like I can read. Yeah, just for like it is because
these
if you were to
marks
search up, like,
these marks remained for 50 years. Oh, you know what? I read it wrong. I concede. You were 100% correct. I read it wrong. My apologies.
Oh, I totally
My
understand. Like,
apologies.
don't worry, dude.
Nope,
got you.
I
totally
read it
understand.
wrong. You were right. You were 100%
Totally
right about that.
understand. It's okay.
Anyway,
Got you. Yeah, perfect.
regardless. So, let's say, again, this is just unexplained. What is the demonstration that it couldn't possibly have a physical explanation?
It's gonna violate the laws of biology. That wounds
No,
just
that's
don't
just the
just
claim
don't
again.
vanish.
That's the claim again. Please stop making the claim and provide the justification for the claim.
Yeah, I would just say like wounds don't just randomly vanish.
Yeah, that's again the claim. What's the justification for the claim?
Yeah, I'm just gonna like I think I'm just gonna say that like wounds, right? Since they're going to be like if we're just finding wounds to be like what's it called again? Specific marks or like damage of cells, right? We're gonna say by the laws of biology, it's gonna say that like cells are gonna take time to heal, are gonna take other nutrients and takes time to heal themselves, right? It would just say that this law is gonna violate it.
Yeah, but we don't have like what we would need to have in order for me to believe you that this is like some for me to even firstly think that this is something that is currently unexplainable. I would need the medical records that show like, you know, documentation of you know, his wounds and what they were like from day to day up until they went away. Like I would need records of the day before he died and some documentation of what the wounds were like that day, and then records of the confirmation that they had gone away the very next day without time for them to heal. Do we have those
Yeah,
records?
perfect. Yeah, we have like photos and
Okay, we have photos from the day before he died and photos from the day he died.
yeah, we have photos of the day when he had the holes. And
Okay, so we have photos from the day before he died?
Wait, may I please finish?
No, because you're not answering my question.
All right.
So do we have photos from the day before he died?
Yeah, not
And-
the day before he died.
No,
obviously,
that's
the
what I'm
day
asking
during his
for.
death.
The day before he died. Do we have photos from the day before he died?
I don't think it's the day exactly before he died. but there's
Okay,
pictures
so
of
that's
him.
what I'm telling you is we need documentation from directly prior to his death and directly after his death. If we don't have that, then you don't
Yeah, I
have.
mean-
If we don't have that, then you don't have enough information to confirm that they healed faster than would have otherwise been possible.
Yeah, so we're just gonna say that of course by both doctors, they're gonna examine and keep records of this guy.
And so, how?
according
What
to
are the
doctor-
records that? What are the
Wait, yeah,
closest
I'm
records we
giving-
have
I'm
to his
giving you
death?
the records, dude.
So tell
I'm
me the.
literally give-
Okay, so
yeah,
what
I'm
was the
giving you the
day?
records.
So he died in
I'm giving
1968.
you the wait. I'm giving you the records, dude. Like you're asking me and you're interrupting me while I'm answering.
Because
What-
you're
what do you
you're
want me to
just
do?
rambling about other shit. You're talking about
Yeah, I
talking
gave
about
you,
it.
you just told me what are the medical records. I'm gonna give you the persons. I'm gonna tell you what they said and the day of their documentation. What do you mean? Okay, good. Okay, perfect. So yeah, we can read into like Dr. Giorgio, I don't know how to pronounce his name, Giorgio Festa. On his case on October 19th to 1920. We can also take another documentation by Professor Omeko Bignami. There's
No, just tell me
documentation in
the one that's closest
wait,
to his death.
Yeah, 1940 to 19
What's the day that's
48.
closest to his death?
The day closest to his death? I don't know the exact day. Give me a sec.
Yeah, tell me the last medical examination that was done prior to his death.
Yeah, perfect. I got you.
I'm not going to sit here forever, man.
Calm down, bro. It's only been like 30 seconds. Wait. Yeah, we have the earliest record of 1968.
When was the
Around
date
2:30.
of his final medical examination prior to his death?
Yeah, September. What day is this? September 23, 1968.
Okay, and who examined him that day, and where can I see the records of his examination on that day?
Yeah, we can go to the National Center of hold up, wait, hold on, I need to get the exact name.
And
The National
this
Center.
is going to have to be from an independent, non-church related source.
Yeah, this is from the this is the National Center Foundation of the
Wow. I mean, that is a strategy to get out of providing evidence for your position. That certainly is a strategy. Okay. All right. If you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus and have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God. Hi,
hello?
Millikan Koki. How old are you?
I'm 20 years old. I was born in 2006.
What God do you believe in?
Yeah, I'm a Muslim. I mean, my name is Milikan. Obviously, it's a Muslim name. I have an argument for God. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah. What's the best argument for God?
It's a variation of the contingency argument made by Franco Discus. So it says if transitive inner models admit elementary reflections.
No. We're not doing that.
What happened?
Give the argument in
Do
normal, everyday language.
Well, that is.
Nope.
If you want me to like break it down simpler, I got you.
Yeah, just
So
give
if
the
there's
argument in
smaller
normal,
self-contained
everyday
versions
language
of
like you were
what-
explaining it to like a fifth grader.
Well, yeah. Well, that's what I was doing. You kind of cut me off. So if there's smaller self-contained versions of larger mathematical universes that contain everything needed for their own
You
reasoning,
can't talk that fast
then
because
they
there's no
will
way
be
that I
more-
can write it down that fast. So if there are smaller
Ooh, I was talking
self-contained,
slowly.
if there are smaller self-contained
You're coping.
universes,
You're trying to run away.
oh, I know it's so.
Yeah.
I'm definitely trying to run away by wanting to actually be able to understand and engage with the argument. You fucking idiot. Okay, if there are smaller
Well, you're
self-contained
interrupting me,
universes,
so you are. No, that's not what I said. Versions of larger mathematical universes.
versions
that contain
of
every
large. You
discus
can't,
model.
dude. You got to calm down, man. I'm writing down the argument. I can't write that fast. I'm sorry that I don't type as fast as you talk. If there are smaller self-contained versions
Why
of
do you write
larger,
down that argument? Plug it into ChatGPT.
yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
of
yeah, it's
larger
definitely
discus
ChatGPT and not just my notepad. If there are smaller self-contained versions, you said versions of larger
Yeah, right. Of larger mathematical universes.
mathematical universes.
That admit. Right. That admit elementary reflections. So that's saying like.
No.
Yeah.
Just give it in normal
Here, I'll
language.
explain it simply,
If you Millikan, any term that you're any stop. Any term that you think that you're going to have to define, don't use. Just use the normal language.
Okay. Yeah, that admit principles which allow truths from the larger system to moriate in the smaller
from
system.
the larger system.
To moriate?
Nope.
What?
Normal language, my guy. One more. You get one more of those, and you're done.
No, that is normal language. What do you mean?
So what's the rest of this premise in normal language?
Well, if you want me to define, Morgan
No,
is normal language. That's like the same.
No. One more time that you give a term that you have to define, I'm just moving on.
Okay.
I don't do this Philbro bullshit.
So yeah, so connections between
Okay, so which allow truths from the larger system
to connections between discrete
to connections. You think that that's grammatical? To what? To connect? Maybe.
Yeah.
Which
to
allow truths from the larger
connections.
system to connect. Okay, you want connections? You just want to make it grammatically incorrect?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You want it to be grammatically
That's
incorrect.
not
Got it.
Okay. That's okay. Hold on. We reread it. If there are smaller self-contained versions which allow truths from the larger systems to connections, that's a function. That's not grammatically incorrect. That's grammatically correct. It's to and from two objects. The second object would be connections. You just blundered. Yeah, you're pretty silly, bro, but it's fine. Two connections between discus models or discus systems.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. So if you are in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus and you have some kind of argument or evidence that will provide justification to believe in a God. No, I told you exactly what was happening, Millikan. I told you that if you gave more Philbro bullshit language, you were getting dropped, and you kept going with the Philbro bullshit language. I'm not doing it. You told me exactly what I told you exactly what was going to happen, right? And you chose not to give it in normal everyday language. That was your call. Uh-oh. I feel like I'm going to get scolded again. What's up, Tree?
Hello, Mr. Ogar. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday indeed.
So I have an argument.
Uh-oh. Is this better than Sobers?
Well, no, I think this is an argument for Eunice.
Ooh.
Eunice, the universe-creating unicorn, who did it by farting after eating a spicy hypotenuse.
Of course.
And because I'm looking into Bayesian arguments. So it goes like this. It's impossible to assign a probability of exactly 0 to an uncontradicted claim, so it is rational to assign a tiny probability that Eunice exists.
So we would go 1.
So everyone get Eunice up.
To apply positive probability to Eunice's existence. I love it. It's impossible to assign a 0 probability to an uncontradicted claim. If that's true, then it's rational to apply a positive probability to Eunice's existence. Conclusion, we should have a positive probability evaluation of Eunice's existence.
Yep. Just bet on Eunice every time, because the Bayesian argument shows that. I mean, look at how adorable Eunice is.
Absolutely. And here's how you know that it's true. How many theists come up, not only here, but all over the place, telling us that you got to look at the trees and that's how you know what's true? Well, you've all just heard it from a tree itself, right? From a tree. We all looked to the trees, and what did we find? The truth of Eunice.
And I just saw a gap in, the guest queue. So I want to come up and do that. But also, horror movie-wise, what did you think of the 2022 reboot of Hellraiser?
Probably my favorite horror movie of all time.
That's what I definitely think is the best Hellraiser movie, and just other people in our elderly age bracket who grew up on that kind of horror. I'm the only one in my local club. So it's just more proof that Eunice destined us to meet.
So
and,
can I tell you my little my favorite thing about that? So I have I have a tattoo.
Go for it.
That's true. My rules. I do what I want. I have a tattoo of that version of Hellraiser, Jamie Clayton's Hellraiser, or Hellraiser, Christ, Pinhead, Hellpriest.
Pinhead. Mm-hmm.
I have a tattoo of her, like a headshot, and I posted it on Instagram, and she commented on it.
Damn.
Yeah. Oh, I think I actually messaged it to her. I messaged a picture of it. I was like, hey, you probably never see this, but I just want you to know I fucking love this movie. It meant a
I
lot
put
to
your
me.
faith in my body. This isn't creepy.
Yes, yeah, it's not weird at all. I'm just kind of like, coming sliding into your DMs for no reason. But she responded, and then she went and found my like public post and commented on it. And
Sick.
yeah, like I was just so blown away. She was so fucking good in it. And then also the other thing about that movie is so many of the Cenobites were just absolutely gorgeous women, and then they made them into these like monsters, and I thought that was amazing because like all the actresses that played Cenobites in that, Jamie Clayton and well, I don't remember the other ladies' names, but there was a few other women that were Cenobites. They're just like these gorgeous women, and then they are turned into these like fucking hellacious
Yeah, it's
monsters.
definitely one of those movies where it's like, well, this better not awaken anything in me.
Oh, I absolutely formed a very quick crush on Jamie Clayton watching that movie.
Yeah,
but
well, we were talking in verified chat on the server, like, I grew up in the era of 80s and 90s horror and alt edgy heroines, and that definitely did not give me a type or gender envy.
Yeah,
That was a wild ride.
I've always been partial to the powerful women like Sarah Connor. I fucking love Sarah Connor, or to a lesser degree Sydney from Scream. There's another really big example. Oh, obviously Ripley, right? Like I fucking love Sigourney Weaver.
But before I go, actually, you did make the Infinity Blunder, because the best horror movie of all time is Leprechauns 3, or whichever one they were in space. I'm gonna let you get to the rest of the live.
All right. Oh,
I'll be in the chat.
Oh, we got CT wants to do like a whole fucking.
Oh no.
What do we do on CT?
No, I was just gonna shill your Discord real quick because, while this might sound weird, there are serious counters or criticisms to like the Padre Pio miracle of the Stigmata. And I actually shared a video done by an ex-Catholic friend of mine who does amazing research and is honestly very respectful of the subject, and I trust like his research and everything. So if you want a skeptical look that is still fair and balanced, go to Ogar's Discord. I dropped the video in there, and he goes through, like as a hint, one of the criticisms is that the reason for the quick disappearance of the wound is there is a particular chemical that Padre Pio did purchase at one point that can give the appearance of severe, deep wounds, when in reality it's just surface level, and then it goes away without treatment shortly after.
It's so funny.
So
I can't say I'm surprised.
Scoring an own goal on that.
Yeah, CT's in here. Yeah, well, I think that's the way to put it. Own goaling.
Well, it's more of like I disagree with even his definition of miracles, because like miracles have to like, and I don't know how universal this is within like deep Catholic theology, but like if God is the orchestrator of the laws of physics and the laws of reality, then a miracle cannot contradict them. They have to work within it. So any miracle though has to be something that is unexpected, is not duplicatable by us, but they can't be a violation or contradiction of the laws of physics. Otherwise, that is a violation or contradiction for God himself.
Fair enough. I mean, I think that's an interesting way to. I don't know. The whole miracle thing is weird to me. I just think like, I don't know, especially if, I think that actually kind of saves Catholicism from one of my problems with miracles, because I think that like if miracles happen and miracles are a suspension of the laws of nature, then I think that means that if that God exists that performs miracles, then we should expect that sometimes the laws of nature are suspended or violated, which means that we should not have any confidence in the continuity or persistence of natural laws. So I think that if you're saying like instead what we should expect a miracle to be is something that wouldn't do that, then oh shit, it doesn't work. Damn. Okay.
Yeah, and
fuck.
You know, I was never Catholic. I was almost a Lutheran pastor. Except I finally got set up with Sola Scriptura. So I'm just gonna say that CT, I know many theists here may be like, oh well, why is like someone who's a big Thomas Aquinas fan Catholic in the name, not just saying whatever they want to go for their own team. That's why CT is the Catholic goat.
Well, and that's why I so commonly
does believe in a God.
Right.
And he believes that God demands he know the truth. And he will seek that truth. The rest of us are just doing it because we're silly. But we're all just trying to figure this out. We're all going to be wrong somehow. And as long as we can all recognize that, I think we'll be fine. Although your lives would be much less entertaining if people were reasonable. So we'll just leave it to me and CT. Everyone else crash out, please.
Fair enough. Well, I appreciate you both. Thank you.
Yeah, see ya.
All right, take care of yourselves. All right. I do not. What is happening? Okay, I want to do that. Oh, no, that link still works. That link does still work for the Discord. I posted like the actual link, but the tiny URL link should still work. I just confirmed it. Yeah, I am going to actually do a restart. We've been going, oh, Jesus, almost 3 hours. Oh, 3 Pips created a new link. Well, that tiny URL one should work. I just went to it and it says it worked. Oh, thanks, 3 Pips. Okay, so I am going to give the TikTok a restart here and see if we can get some people back in here and get some good, more debates going this evening. I'll be right back. Oh, so annoying. TikTok Studio keeps changing how it does stuff, and it's super fucking annoying. Okay, do that, and then this, and this. Are we back? I think we're back. Okay, hopefully that worked. Hey, right away, Poopman Jones. Thank you so much. Awesome. All right. So yeah, hopefully we can have some good debates. Thanks for the hat, Nobody on Fire. Appreciate you. And Mikey, thank you for the support. Obviously, Poopman Jones as well. Lupine, thank you so much. Appreciate the likes and the shares and everything. Get people in here and have some good debates. If you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're an adult and you have some kind of argument or evidence for God. It sure has been a Friday tonight.
Hello.
Hi. I don't know what your name is. Brodo?
Yeah, it's Doug.
How old are you?
Yeah, it's Doug in the word. I'm 18.
Okay. And what God do you believe in?
No, I'm an atheist. I just wanted to ask you something about atheism.
Okay.
I wanted to ask, what's your, what do you think is the strongest argument for atheism?
I think that, I don't know, maybe the Proclus dilemma. I think that that's like a really easy one. I don't know if it's the strongest one, but it's a really easy one.
Okay. Do you think that, how do you view the Epicurean paradox?
You're talking about for morals? I don't remember.
He basically, a lot of people misunderstand the the paradox. Like he basically was saying that God, he's not a being that can distinguish evil or good, just because evil or good are man-made constructs and are based on what we feel to be, evil or bad. So God shouldn't judge or can't judge.
Well, I just think that the Epicurean dilemma just show, or trilemma, or whatever it is, just shows that that there can't be an all-good, all-powerful God of this universe. Like, it's just not possible. I don't know that it's like the best argument, but I think it shows that at least certain types of gods can't exist. But I think the Proclus dilemma is a probably better way of showing that no God could exist. But I appreciate the support, and I hope you have a good one. If you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus and have some kind of argument or evidence for God. Hi, Khalid. How old are you?
38.
Okay. And what God do you believe in?
Allah.
Okay. And then what would you say is the best argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God?
What is evidence for you?
Literally any data that raises the probability of God existing.
Any data. It needs to be data.
Anything. By data, I mean like evidence, arguments.
Your existence could be proof of God's existence, isn't it?
Okay, how's that?
How does a human being exist?
Okay, well, so when a man loves a woman, what it will happen is the man will take his penis and he'll put it into her vagina,
how did the man
and then
even
after a
decide
little
to-
while, usually not as long as the woman would like, but so it's typically pretty quick if we're being honest. But after a
he
little
created the
while,
man
what he'll
and the
do
woman.
is his penis will actually do what's called ejaculation, and so
Yeah,
what
that's
has happening is there's this genetic material that shoots out. It's called semen, okay, and it goes into the woman's
But now you're
vagina
just-
and up into her uterus,
You're
and then
waffling,
what'll
though.
happen
You
is that it
understand
will
the sex.
one of the
understand
sperm cells will impregnate, or it will fertilize one of her eggs, and then so that'll implant itself into her uterine lining.
Come on, bro.
And then that'll develop into a zygote, and it'll develop over time into
on,
an
bro.
embryo,
You're
into a
waffling.
baby, and then
You're
after
waffling
about
and
9 months of gestation, she'll remove that baby. That baby will come out of her body, typically naturally, but these days a lot of times they have like surgery or drugs involved. And then when that baby comes out, that's a whole new human.
You haven't said anything. You've just waffled for 10 minutes or whatever. Like, let's be honest. We're talking about a chicken and egg argument, and how does the human being even come to be on Earth?
Okay, so when a man loves a woman,
And
what happens
even
is
even that. Wait a second. Even that, we know.
what are
from
we
human
talking about,
existence.
Khalid? Is there any reason to believe in God?
Okay, how does the iPhone exist? Someone has created it. So we even
So
know
is
from
there
that
any reason
process-
to believe in God?
No, but we know from that. We have to explain existence, isn't it? For something to exist,
I don't know.
it has
Do
to
we
be
have
created.
to? Like, if we have to explain the universe's existence, like if we have to explain everything that exists, then how do you explain God existing?
No, you need to explain it to you.
Well,
Because
I
you're
need
the
you
one
to
bringing
explain.
the
If
debate.
if it's your position that we have to have an explanation for everything that exists, then what's the explanation for God existing?
And I'm telling you, you should accept.
What's the explanation?
You should accept my explanation.
You told me that we need.
You being
You
evidence.
told me that there
your
needs to be an
existence,
explanation for everything that exists.
cannot
So what's the
explain
explanation
how
for
you
God's
exist.
existence?
You cannot explain how you exist.
Okay, so I'll ask one more time. If everything needs an explanation for its existence, then obviously God is included in that. What's the explanation for God's existence? Or do you reject that everything needs an explanation for its existence?
Do you accept that?
So
things
I'm going to
can-
ask one more time, and if you don't give me a direct answer,
so
I'm
you're
just going to
scared-
move
you're
on.
scared of the answer.
So
Wait,
either your
oh my
options here
God.
are to either provide the explanation
Bro,
for
you're
God's
getting
existence,
views. When I came in,
or
you got
reject the
50.
principle that
Now
everything
it's
that exists
20.
needs an explanation for
the
its existence.
conversation.
So do you want to do one or two?
Conversation. You should keep the conversation. Sorry, what did you say though?
Okay. Well, I told you I was asking one more time, and you refused to answer, so I'm going to move on. All right. If you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus and have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God.
Yes,
Hi-
good sir. Hello.
Hi, Recursion. How old are you?
25.
Okay. And what God do you believe in?
The Christian God, good sir.
Okay. And what would you say is the best argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God?
Yeah, so am I allowed to ask clarifying questions, good sir? You want to just give the argument?
I would prefer the argument. Is
Okay,
there
I'll just give the
something that needs to be clarified?
I just want to know if you accept the axiom that existence exists.
I don't really know what that would even mean. I guess I'm not clear on what that would mean. I don't think existence is a thing that can have existence. I think existence is just what we say when something is real.
Is existence propositional?
Is existence propositional? Well, I mean, existence isn't a predicate, but I guess I don't know if that answers your question.
Well, not all predicates are propositions, so that's going to be a blunder. But that's fine. We can just move on, right? So the argument is, if non-existence does not exist, then God.
Oh well, yeah, no. I mean, obviously, I'm going to reject this. This is nonsense.
Does
So, do you have any serious argument?
Sorry, does non-existence exist or does it not exist?
So, do you have a serious argument, or should I just move on?
Can you just repeat the premise that I gave you?
Okay,
Seems
thank
like
you.
Your brain.
All right. If you are in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus. And you have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God. Hi, Bobby. How old are you?
Yeah, 31.
Okay, and what God do you believe in?
The Christian God.
Okay. And what would you say is the best argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God?
I mean, here's the thing, brother. Ultimately, I'm kind of curious about the argument for the premise above.
Sure. So just to make sure that we're on the same page, because there's so many different versions of the Christian God, do you believe that God is all good, all love, or all good, all knowing, all powerful? Sorry, brain fart.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Which argument do I want to run? Well, I don't like that one.
You want to run the problem of evil?
No. I'm going to say that because God knows things, if he's all knowing, obviously that means he knows things. If he knows things, that means that he has a mind, because knowledge is a mental state. God's mind either has one unchanging mental state or a series of changing mental states. And we know that because God is the creator of the universe, he must be outside space and time. And also change only happens inside time. So that means that God's mind only ever has one unchanging mental state, because it's not able to change being outside time and all.
Wait, I reject the temporal premise. I mean, look, what's the
what
argument
temporal?
for-
What do you mean that change? You don't think that change only happens in time?
Yeah, I'm kind of. What's the motivation for that?
Yeah, sure. So if a change occurs, that means that something went from one state of existence to another, right? It transitioned from one state of existence to another.
Sure.
Okay. And time is the transition of, from one state of existence to the next, right? So change just is what time is measuring.
I'll accept that. Okay.
So again, where we're at is God has a mind that either has one unchanging mental state or a series of changing mental states. Since change only happens in time and he's outside time, that means his mental states cannot change. He only ever has one eternal mental state. The problem here is that acting on your will requires a change of mental states, right? You have to go from the mental state, I intend to do X, to at least a second mental state of I have done X. Now, typically when I do act on my will, I have a middle mental state of I am doing X. Maybe we would say God wouldn't need that or whatever, but at the very least, he would need two mental states in order to act on his will. Because his mental state cannot change, that means that he cannot act on his will. But if he can't act on his will, he can't create. The problem with that is that if God exists, he did create the universe. So by the power of modus tollens, God does not exist.
You're using modus tollens here. So look,
I did. Yep. I mean, obviously, it's a lot more than modus tollens, but I really like that line.
No, yeah, I mean, I don't. I kind of reject modus tollens and modus ponens. But
You reject logic?
yeah, I reject those inference rules.
Why is that?
I mean, you have. Well, just to be clear, you do understand what a dialetheist is, right? Like,
Oh, yeah, someone who just, rejects classical logic. Yeah.
yeah,
You accept contradictions.
sure.
Yeah, I mean, my position is that contradictions can never be true. So if you're just going to reject logic in order to preserve your position, then there's no conversation for us to have. Because honestly, if you don't think that the laws of logic apply to God, then you can't even have a belief about God. because in order to have a belief about something, you have to have a thought about it. But thoughts are intentional. They're about something. And so in order for a thought to be about something, the thing that it's about has to have a consistent identity. But if the laws of logic don't apply to God, then that means the law of identity doesn't apply to God. And if the law of identity doesn't apply to God, then God doesn't have a consistent identity. So as I said before, you can't have thoughts about God, and you certainly can't have beliefs about things you can't have thoughts about. So it's not possible to have a belief in God if the laws of logic don't apply to him. So I mean, that's just a self-defeating position.
Yeah, I would agree. Dialetheism is a self-defeating position. I mean, there's only like a handful of philosophers that accept it, but
right. But you're trying to hold to it because you don't know another way to protect your belief in a God.
Dog, I don't hold to dialetheism.
Okay, so what's your problem with modus tollens?
Nothing. I'm just, dude, I'm honestly just fucking around.
Okay, well, have a good one.
Yeah.
All right, if you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus and you have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God. Before I bring up the next person, thank you everybody for the support. Poopman Jones, Nobody on Fire, Mikey, more Nobody on Fire, thank you so much. Blue Pine, love you, thank you. Chevrolet, thank you for the support. Colette Alexandria, thank you so much for the heart puff. That's awesome. Lem, thank you. Pascal's Wager, awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate new supporter. That is what that says, isn't it? Wanger. Oh, I just assumed. My bad, Pascal's Wanger. I did not mean to, dead name you. If you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus and have some kind of argument or evidence that will provide justification to believe in a God. Hi, Modal Soul. How old are you?
I'm 25. How are you doing?
Oh, stupid computer. Well, I would be doing better if my computer wasn't so stupid. Sorry, I just got distracted. I apologize. You said you're 25.
Let's pray for your computer.
Okay. What God do you believe in?
Christian God.
Cool. And then what would you say is the best argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in God?
Intelligence. And that could point to intelligent design. You know, there's so many things that don't make sense to us, but it makes sense in itself, and we don't understand it.
I agree that there are questions that we don't have the answers to, but I don't understand how any of the things that you said would give us a reason to believe in God.
Because when you understand that there's information that you don't know, what sense does it make to reject information you don't know? All you can do is accept it.
What? I'm asking why we should think that God exists. Can you give me any reason to think God exists other than just saying that you think there are questions that some people don't know the answers to?
Okay, let's do what you did before with the earlier guest. Let's work with your reasoning about change. Could you put it a little simpler? Because you're a smart guy. You use big words, but I'm a dummy. So if you could put it in layman's terms.
Well, I think the argument that I gave was pretty simple. I can go through it premise by premise so that you don't feel like you're getting left behind or anything.
Yeah.
So premise number 1 is God has a mind. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Okay. And then premise 2 is that minds have either changing mental states or only one unchanging mental state. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And then premise 3, change only occurs in time. Does that make sense?
Change only occurs in time.
Yeah, because in order for something to change, it has to transition from one state of existence to a different state of existence. But that's what time is. It's the progression of existence from one state to another. So change literally just is what time is measuring.
But that's a measurable existence, right?
No, I'm just saying that because change can only happen if there's a progression of existence, and time is the progression of existence, that means that change can only happen in time.
So time measures the switching between existences, right?
So time is the progression of existence, and change is a progression of existence.
Now, how can something that's everlasting, something that has no end or beginning, progress?
That's not what we're talking about. We're just talking about the concept of...
No,
we're just talking about the premise on the table right now is change only occurs in time. We're not talking about something that's everlasting or infinite. We're not talking about something that's finite. We're not
this
even
is
examining though any of those concepts. All we're examining is the connection between change and time. Do you have any reason to think that change can happen outside time?
Yeah.
What's the reason to think that change can happen outside time?
There's no proof that it can't. You know, there's information we don't know.
I just gave you the proof that it can't. Change requires a progression of existence. Change can only happen if there is a progression of existence, and the progression of existence is time. So change can only happen in time.
And what information are you basing that on? Your experience?
Exactly what I just explained to you. I'm not basing it on anything. These are just philosophical concepts. We're just analyzing what the words mean, and it's analytically true. It's necessarily true that change can only happen inside time. So here's what I'm going to need you to do, Modal Soul. Modal Soul, I'm giving you an argument here. Premise 1, change requires a progression of existence. Premise 2, time is the progression of existence. Conclusion, change requires time. So what is your response to that argument?
My response is that an absolute truth? Can you
Which
prove
premise
that?
do you reject?
The premise that change only exists within time.
No, of the argument that I just gave. I will put it up on the screen. So premise 1, change requires a progression of existence. Time is the progression of existence. Conclusion, change requires time. So which premise do you reject?
For the sake of continuing, I'll just accept it, okay?
Okay,
All right,
fantastic.
you're
So let's
right
get back
on
to
that.
the argument that I was giving.
But I'd like
so
you
we said
to-
premise 1, God
I'd
has a
like
mind.
you-
Premise 2, mind has either changing mental states or only one unchanging mental
like
state.
you
now agree
to-
with premise 3, change only occurs in time. So our premise 4 is God exists outside of time. Do you agree that God exists outside time?
I think he is time. He is time.
Okay. Time exists inside the universe. So if God is time, that means he's inside the universe and could not have created the universe. If God exists, he created the universe. Therefore, God does not exist. So your new argument now is showing us that God can't possibly exist.
Well, I need you to explain, if something is immortal, how long is that? How much time is that?
That's not a response to what I said. I'm going to need you to respond to what I actually said, or I'm just going to move on.
What predicates a response?
So either respond to what I said, or I'm going to move on. This is your last chance.
You hear the words coming out of my mouth, right? That's a response.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate the concession. If you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus and you have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God. Michelle. Bueller. Okay. All right. Once again, if you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus and have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God. Thank you so much, everybody, for the support. I sincerely appreciate you. Little Jim, thank you. Redhead, Stepchild, Dabnese, appreciate you all so much. All right. Is nobody going to connect? Hi, Fuzzy. How old are you? All right. If you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus and you have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God. Hello, Darkness. How old are you?
I'm 41, man.
Okay. What God do you believe in?
Oh, I actually don't believe a God. Are you actually only looking for believers to talk to?
Yep.
Oh, okay, dude. I didn't mean to come up then. I thought you were just looking for believers. I'm not a believer.
Okay, yeah, we're just doing
I
debates.
know, I know I know the truth, dude. You know, and like a lot of people just don't get it.
Unfortunately.
I see, like,
Well, hey, I
it's
appreciate
crazy,
you.
man.
I am going to move on to do more debates, but I hope you have a good one. Thanks for being here. Yeah, if you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you are 18 plus and you have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God. Hi, Dom. How old are you?
19.
Okay, and what God do you believe in?
Christ.
Cool. What would you say is the best argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God?
Do you believe in the Big Bang Theory? Big Bang Theory?
It seems to be our current best explanation for the expansion of the universe. Sure.
Do you believe that just happens in a spaceless area?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Like, something needs to be created for something to happen, correct?
No. I have no idea why I would believe that.
So, it just pops into the universe for no reason?
I don't know what you're talking about. You seem to be saying a whole bunch of unrelated things. I need you to bring me along with your line of reasoning here.
What are the chances that the Big Bang happens all by itself?
I don't know what you mean all by itself. I have no idea what we're talking about. How are we getting to God? Stop asking me questions and just give your argument, please.
Why don't you believe in God?
Okay, so you don't have an argument or evidence? You were just doing like 20 questions or something?
No.
Okay, so what's the best argument or evidence for God?
There's multiple manuscripts for him, and there's more than any other person back in time.
Well, obviously that's not true. I mean, there's tons of old ancient historical figures from even before Jesus's time who we have documents from their lifetime, either written by them or people writing about them during their lifetime. We have 0 documents from Jesus's lifetime, either from or about him. So I would say that, in fact, we have tons of other historical figures that have much better attestation to their existence. So clearly that's just a false claim. So, and even if it was true that Jesus actually existed, which I don't know if it is, but if it is true that Jesus actually existed, that would still have nothing to do with whether a God exists. There's lots of people who were real, who made supernatural claims that were false, right? Like Muhammad made supernatural claims that you don't believe in, even though he was a real person. Joseph Smith made supernatural claims that, unless you're Mormon, you probably don't believe in, even though he was definitely a real person. We have very good documentation of his existence. L. Ron Hubbard, also same thing. Jim Jones, same thing. David Koresh, same thing. I mean, depending on how long you want me to go for, I could look up tons and tons of people who we have definitive 100% confidence, or as close to 100% as you can get, that they really existed with much better documentation than anything for Jesus, and you still don't believe their religious claims. So, number one, no, you're wrong about having good evidence for Jesus' existence. And number two, even if you were right, it wouldn't matter. So what's the best argument or evidence to give us reason to believe in God?
I don't really have any off the top of my head.
Okay, well, appreciate you, and I hope you have a good one. All right, if you are in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you are 18 plus and you have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God. Let me do that, and then we'll bring up the next person. Hi, Abdi. How old are you?
34.
Cool. And what God do you believe in?
Allah.
Cool. What would you say is the best argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God?
God sent us prophet and pretty much told us that God exists. And then also, God sent the Quran down.
Yeah, this is just assuming that God actually exists. What's the reason to believe that? Hello?
Yes, have you read the Quran?
I haven't, but I know that it claims to be, from a prophet of a God, but I don't have a reason to believe that a God exists, so obviously I don't believe Muhammad was actually a prophet. What's the reason that I should believe that a God actually exists?
Maybe you should give a time, maybe of reading the and maybe God gave you.
Well,
a
have you
brain.
read about Eunice?
About Eunice?
Yeah, Eunice, the universe farting unicorn.
Yeah. Say.
It sounds like we have a really bad delay here. All right, fair enough. If you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus and have some kind of argument or evidence that will provide justification to believe in a God. Police be upon him indeed. Okay. Hey, Ashante, how old are you?
35.
Okay, and what God do you believe in?
God of Abraham and Isaac.
Okay, you're Jewish?
No, Christian.
Oh, well, I probably should just say that then, so it's not ambiguous. What would you say is the best argument or evidence that would provide rational justification to believe in a God? Also, can you do anything about the background noise? This is crazy.
Yeah, let me.
What is happening?
What's wrong with it?
I don't know.
What's
There's just
wrong
a
with
lot of noise and static and squealing and like a high-pitched ringing.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, well, okay. I'm kind of done with all that noise. Come back if you can get that figured out. All right. Yeah, I don't understand it, Big Micah style. I don't know why people have such bad reception. Yeah. Okay. All right. If you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus and have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God. Hi, Doodle. How old are you?
I'm 19.
Okay. And what God do you believe in?
I'm sorry, what was that?
What God do you believe in?
I believe in, like, Jesus.
Okay. And what would you say is the best argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God?
Well, have you heard of the Shroud of Turin?
I'm aware of that forgery, yeah.
Well, do you know that everybody has a religion, whether you know it or not?
No.
So let's take for an example. Science could be so radical it becomes.
Okay, so what's the best argument or evidence for God?
Well, I don't know. It's just logic, pure.
Yeah, sure. So just provide me with the logical inference that would lead us to believe that God exists.
Gotcha. So,
Okay, well, I think that's probably the best argument I've heard all night. If you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus and you have some kind of argument or evidence that will provide rational justification to believe in a God. I agree, Melatonin. That was the best one I've heard so far. Hi, Kingleton. How old are you? Hello? Bueller. Okay. All right. If you are in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus and you have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God. I appreciate that you appreciate me running a tight ship. Hi, Mac. How old are you?
I am 37.
Okay. And what God do you believe in?
I don't believe in a particular definition of God, but there is definitely a creator or a higher consciousness.
Okay. So maybe just like some kind of immaterial mind that created and sustains the universe?
Absolutely. There is definitely a grand plan at plan.
Okay. And what would you say is the best argument or evidence that would give us reason to believe in a God?
Life itself, our experiences. It shows that every day that you exist.
How's that? How does that give us reason to believe in God?
Because there are too many nuances. If you have literally existed in this world, there are too many variables. There are too many instances.
This is just the claim again, Mac. I don't want you to state the claim again. I'm asking you to provide the connection between this claim and God existing.
Okay, where do we come from?
Okay,
If
that's
we
a
didn't come
question.
from a source,
So
if we
I'm
didn't come
asking
from a
you,
source,
I'm,
then
I'm
where
asking
did
you
we
to
come from?
provide the logic or the reasoning that would get us from us existing and having an experience to having a reason to believe in God.
Did the vastness of the universe
Okay,
just
so
shit
what you
us
should
that we
not be
exist?
doing, Mac, you should not be asking me questions. You should be providing the argument or evidence that gets us to God.
Argument of evidence. So you want me to pull up Google and have all kinds of PDF files and stuff to show you or
Nope,
something?
I didn't say anything like that.
I think you're just looking for rage.
I'm looking for an argument or evidence.
Exactly, you're looking for an argument. Exactly, you just
Do you know what an argument is in philosophy?
Yes, to argue.
No.
To argue,
No.
to be combative
No.
with another person.
No,
yes.
I'm sorry. You're misunderstanding. I apologize. In philosophy, an argument is simply a series of premises that lead to a conclusion. That's all I'm looking for when I say argument.
Okay, if you don't think that there is a creator, we didn't come from. I don't care if it's an aliens or whatever.
Okay,
higher
again,
consciousness being.
I'm not looking for your incredulity and saying like, well, if you don't believe it, then I have no idea. Like, that's fine. I'm not expecting
Use
you.
all the big words that you want. That's fine, but that there is a creator. You came from something. It is so obvious that we all came from something. It is so
Well, it's not-
blatantly obvious.
It's not obvious to me, so I'm asking you to help me see it.
How can it not be? Have you not experienced things in life that make you question your existence?
I don't know what you mean by that, and I also don't know how that could be relevant. Is there any reason to believe
Are
that
you
a God
kidding
exists?
me? Have you never took mushrooms or LSD?
Okay, well, we definitely can't be talking about illicit substances on the TikTok Live. That's just not going to fly. If you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus and you have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God. Hi, Russell. How old are you?
46.
Cool. And what God do you believe in?
There's only one God.
I didn't ask how many gods you believe in. Please answer the question that I asked you.
Look.
So what's the answer to the question that I asked you?
What was the question again?
What God do you believe in?
The Christian God.
Cool. And what would you say is the best argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God?
Because there are ghosts in our house, and I've seen a Beethoven bust on the.
All right. All right. Well, I don't have any serious interlocutors requesting currently. So if you are 18 plus and have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God, feel free to come up. Oh, we are being blessed. We have been blessed with a Lobes appearance. Tonight's been a great one for guest stars, cameos, if you will. What's up, Lobes?
Yeah, I just wanted to check in on you, see if you got any more thoughts of the Cosmo Wanda schema.
I wish I had more on that. We were literally, I don't know if you heard it. We were talking about you earlier.
Oh yeah, all good things, I assume.
Obviously. No, J Mike was up here and we were talking about how awesome you are.
Yeah, you're full of shit.
It's all on recording, bro. I got the receipts.
He doesn't remember me. I think I've only interacted with him like twice on my life. Like over a year ago.
No, we were. He came up here, and I don't remember exactly how we got onto it, but I mentioned how you. I don't bring up a lot of. That's what I was saying. He was asking if like I'd stick to only 1v1 because he was going to drop down right away, and I said no, you can hang out. I have Monkey Boy and Lobes come up here sometimes, and then we were talking about how awesome you are.
No, I appreciate that. I reached out to him about. I'm not doing that anymore. I don't know why I kept doing that. I reached out to him for TSP, but I don't think he's good with DMs.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. But you gonna hang out for a minute?
Yeah, I got a little bit of time.
All right.
Obi-Wan Kenobi's a strong nickname.
Obi-Wan Kenobi, I love it. That's awesome. If you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're 18 plus. You have some kind of argument or evidence for God. I don't even know what to do. Like, I only have. Sober, why do you do this to me?
Well.
I'm be running a new argument today.
Oh no.
It's called the Kalam.
And did you come up with this one yourself?
Yeah. It's an original.
Oh, why can I not? What is going on tonight, everybody? All right, you know what? We're gonna like three-way it.
Excuse me?
We're gonna have a three-way.
Oh, okay.
We're having a three-way. You already came up here. That was consent.
Well, with a honey in the middle, there's a leeway.
Hi, Kingleton. Are you there this time? Hello.
Hello, my friend.
Hi. How old are you?
I'm 38.
Okay. And what God do you
Is
believe
it my
in?
picture who's making you thinking?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I believe there's one God.
Okay. Which God?
I believe God exists.
Okay. Which God do you think exists?
I believe human being is created by God.
Okay. I'm
And everything
maybe
else-
there's a language barrier here. I'm not sure. I'm trying to figure out which version of God you believe in.
which I like the only God. As a Muslim, as I call myself Muslim, I
Oh.
believe in only one God. That we
Okay.
call Allah.
All right. So what's the best argument or evidence for God?
As Allah said, He said, "Ul Allah ahad Allahu samad lam yalid lam yulad lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad."
Okay. Well,
I'm
that
the
doesn't do anything for
creator.
me because I don't speak that language.
Was that not clear,
Okay.
Ogre?
I'm so sorry.
Okay.
My bad.
Did you hear? If you hear, you can translate the language, or you try to search inside the Quran.
Okay. Well, I don't know how to translate. I don't know how to translate that language. I'm not. I mean, I assume it's Arabic, but I don't know how to speak that. So, do you have any argument or evidence in a language that I know, namely English?
But you understand what saying the Ul Allah.
Okay. I don't feel like we're making any progress here.
Lobes, you want to hear a new argument I made?
Is it the Kalam?
No, that was another one I did in my free time.
This guy's got arguments coming out his ears.
Out of his lobes.
Ooh.
What's the argument?
Yeah, it's like a scientific one. So, if black holes exist, then there's an information paradox. And if there's an information paradox, we must have something to account for this that must abide by modern physics. Quantum field theory is a well thought about model in modern physics. Fecund universes falls under this, and a baby universe necessarily follows under fecund universes, which inherently a parent universe would necessarily follow. Every parent has a father. God the Father exists.
Going the semantic route on this argument, I see. An interesting tactic.
Bold tactic, Cotton. Let's see if it works out for him.
I'm 2-0, by the way.
Jesus Christ. Oh, a baby verse. That's exactly it, both sides.
By the way, someone DM me that. Someone DM me asking for that in a syllogism, and I was like, no.
Yeah, because somebody will actually run it. All right.
This is some good shit. That's like, it's similar to when people say, "Oh, well, there's laws. They require a lawgiver."
That's so annoying to me. All right, well, maybe we can have a real conversation. If you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're an adult and you have some kind of argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God. Maybe. I mean, Terry Turbo is a pretty promising name. Hi, Terry. How old are you? Come on, Terry. You're my last hope. Don't do this to me, Terry. You there? Terry! No, Terry. Terry! Oh, no.
Okay.
Hi, how old are you? Come on, Terry. You can do it. I believe in you.
I think Terry's on the ISS right now. I don't know why his internet's so bad.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I heard him say okay.
Terry.
We're all pulling for you, Terry. This is your chance to convert me.
You can do this.
What?
You need to engage the turbo. Oh, okay.
Can you hear me?
The turbo was not engaged on that one.
No, it
I think
was
he was trying to
not.
mumble rap.
All right. If you're in the guest queue or thinking about joining, make sure that you're an adult and you have some kind of argument or evidence that will provide justification to believe in a God.
He's writing Eunice.
I'm jealous. Hi,
Here
AK.
he is. Here he is.
How old are you?
35.
Okay. And which
How old
God
are
do
you?
I'm 40.
Nice, bro.
Which God do you believe in?
Can I ask you a question?
Not until you tell me what God you believe in.
What type of God? Is there a few? Is there a few different ones?
Okay, I'll ask one more time. What God do you believe in?
I believe in the real God. Yeah.
All right.
Why don't you?
So clearly not a serious interlocutor. All right. Do we bring up the guy that was pissing last time I tried to bring him up? See how that goes?
Yeah, he can't be pissing for that long.
Yeah, he has to be done by now. Hi, Fuzzy. How old are you?
38.
Okay, and what God do you believe in?
Jesus.
Cool. What would you say is the best argument or evidence that would provide justification to believe in a God?
I'd say it's hard really to provide evidence, to be quite honest with you. But it's more so, I say, a feeling. It's a feeling inside that you have
Well,
in
how
yourself.
do you, how do you know that you're properly interpreting the feeling?
It's a feeling. It's an emotion that every human being has,
Mhm.
and it's like a sense.
Yeah, but like
it's a
I,
sense of like an awareness.
yeah,
an
but like,
awareness of
but sometimes,
something.
but sometimes we interpret our feelings wrong. Like and like our feelings mislead us. Like for example, I spent a really, really long time in an abusive relationship. Now I thought she loved me. Turns out that she didn't give a fuck. She was using me the whole time, and she left as soon as it was convenient for her. But I had the feeling that she actually cared for me. That was wrong. She didn't actually care for me. So obviously our feelings can mislead us, right? So how do you know that your feeling that seems to confirm God to you actually is a confirmation of God?
It's a sense. It's a sense of.
Yeah, no, I understand all of that. What I'm asking is how you confirmed that you're accurately interpreting this experience.
You can't really exactly. We can't exactly confirm the feeling that we have.
So it sounds like
example,
cool. So it sounds
for
like we're not going to
example-
be able to make any progress here because you can't provide a reason to trust the feeling. So do you have any other argument or evidence for God?
Just one more thing. Like it's like say you're walking into a supermarket.
Okay, well I'm not going to do that.
I'm just wondering what feeling it is that, like, man, I'm getting this this tingling. Like, there's like a Middle Eastern guy from 2,000 years ago who is God and the Son of God that died because God is evil and is gonna kill us unless somebody innocent is like that's just like I woke up and like I had an itch and then I also had like that feeling in my ear, in my lobes.
Well, I think that both sides really, really got it because it's a sense, as Fuzzy was saying, it's a sense, like a nonsense.
Right.
There we go.
Oh my God. All right. Let's see if we can have a conversation. Before I do, thank you everybody for the support. I feel like I've been kind of like lax on pointing that out, but I do sincerely appreciate it. Where was I at? Like, some idiot named Sober.
What the fuck?
You know I love you, hopefully. Melatonin, thank you so much. Nutsy, Lem, Ian, Ginger, what is that? Hutchison? It is. Thank you so much. Miss Casey, Lupine, love you, thank you. Nobody on Fire, fuck yeah, thank you so much. Lem, Thistle Honey, thank you for the support. Roll Doll Flungren, that's awesome. Thank you for the support. Lupine, Jason Debateman, appreciate it. Nobody on Fire, Lupine, thank you so much, everybody. Okay, we'll see if we can, have a good conversation. I don't know how late I'm going to go. Probably not too much longer. I've been on since, when did I start? Like 6 o'clock? So like 3.5 hours ago. All right, we'll see if we can have a good convo, though.
Anything with
Hi, Isser Lee, how old are you?
Hey, 35.
Okay, and what God do you believe in?
I think it's impossible to prove or disprove there's a God.
Okay, which God do you believe in?
I do not believe in a God, but I just wanted to say I enjoyed your live. Thank you. I follow you and everything. But I don't think, like it's fair because you can't prove or disprove there's a God.
Well, I appreciate your support. I mean, I will disagree. I think that we can show pretty definitively that there isn't a God, but either way, I do appreciate you being here and your support,
Sure.
and I wish you the best. Take care.
Thank you.
Okay, I mean, the only person still in the queue, what was his argument? Oh, asked me to give an argument that there is no God and then refused to engage with it. So probably not going to do that again. Are either of you guys, I assume you're probably not going live tonight, Lobes. Sober, are you going live?
I might. I'm thinking about it.
All right, fair enough. All right, well, I think I'm going to call it for the night. I feel like I've been going long enough, and I got to rest up for tomorrow to go see Spooderman, so.
Here, this guy loves. This guy's a fucking bedtime.
I'm just a little guy.
What'd you say about me?
I'm just a little guy. All right.
You better not spoil it. I plan on watching it tomorrow too, actually.
Yeah, well, I'm definitely not doing any spoilers, and hopefully nobody spoils it for me. But I do appreciate everybody so much for being here. Thank you all for the support. I love you all. The last thing that I always say before I end my lives is just a quick reminder that tomorrow is not guaranteed, so you don't know how many opportunities you have left to let your family